Edmonton will meet Montreal in the Eastern Final, and the Edmonton Eskimos, their 6-12 regular season takes them to one playoff game, and that is it. At home, the Calgary Stampeders dispose of the Eskimos, and now into the Western Final next weekend. Calgary will make a trip to British Columbia. So there is a look at how the CFL playoffs continue and a look at the Oilers as they continue their road trip. We talked about the fact they have been playing well. I think they need a break, and you may see them end the winless streak in 8 and finally get themselves into the win column on the road. Now up to Bruce and John.
All right, thank you, Gene. Once again, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's game. Molson Oilers hockey on A Channel. The Oilers and the Blackhawks. The Oilers completing a 5-game road trip, while the Blackhawks winding up a 4-game homestand. Here's a look at the starting goalies. Tommy Salo for the Oilers, his 4th consecutive start on this trip, the 3rd star in St. Louis on Friday when he made 34 saves. And we've already talked about him. Former Oilers Steve Passmore in goal tonight for the Blackhawks, his 2nd time that he's made back-to-back starts this season, signed as a free agent by the Hawks in the offseason. Two referees in charge tonight, Don Koharski and Dave Jackson. Lonnie Cameron and Swede Knox are the linesmen. And we are set to go at the United Center in Chicago. Puck goes back into the Chicago zone. Passmore leaves it behind the net for Sylvain Cote, the former Leaf who leads Hawks defenseman in scoring. In front of his own net up on the right side. Jurczyk this time. Spolik came good outside the line, and Nienema dumped it in. Cote to Marhan. Now to Dean McCammon. He hands it off to Dumont. Snaps it on goal, and Tommy Salo made the save with Dean McCammon going for the net.
Not a bad play on the long screenshot on Tommy Salo, and Salo makes his first save of the night. Here's a shot in. Look at the screen right through Jason Smith's feet. And there's a save by Salo. He's able to control the rebound as Dean McCammon was trying to go to the net. Now watch. Here's McCammon, goes wide, and you can see Salo sees McCammon and makes sure that he controls that rebound.
Well, the other key part of that trade that sent McCammon and Boris Mironov to the Hawks. Boris Mironov back in the lineup tonight and on the ice for the Blackhawks, just signed his new contract yesterday. Johnny Nienema has the puck in his own zone and lifts it through center for the Oilers. Club down there. And moved ahead to LaRue, but called as Brian McCabe flubbed it ahead.
Kevin Lowe looking on. He's got Tom Pody on the ice, and you and I, Bruce, were wondering about that, whether Tom would be able to go. He averaging over 27 minutes a game. Bruised foot in the St. Louis game, but he tried it in warm-up. Burke Robertson was out in the warm-up just in case Pody couldn't go, but fortunately for Kevin and the Oilers, Tom decided he was able to play tonight.
Saw him limping into the elevator at the hotel, John. We weren't sure whether he'd be ready to go or not, but in the lineup, Mironov gets nailed behind the net by Paul Comrie. Mironov got his number. Jason Smith at the line. He rolls it into the corner, and Daze on the puck for Chicago. Out at center to LaRue. LaRue into the Oilers zone, going wide on Nienema, got the backhander away, missed the target. McCabe at the left point, down the boards. Puck goes in behind the Oiler net. Nylander to Mironov, the slap shot, and Salo got a piece of that. Good play there by Nylander, a recent acquisition from Tampa Bay. Baranek made a good move at center and gives it to Guerin on the right side. Baranek heads for the net. Guerin tried to slide it through to him, but his pass was picked off by Sullivan. Pody at center. Over to Roman Hammerlich. Pass on the right side. Guerin with some room. The slap shot. Pass for a pad save. And he'll hold on with Ryan Smith moving in. Let's take a look at tonight's lineups. They are brought to you by Boston Pizza. Visit Boston Pizza after the game for great pizza and pastas. Come and get it all.
Edmonton Oilers looking to create some more offense, and Bill Guerin talking to Gene Principe about his timing, getting his timing back. He got a goal in St. Louis. He'd like to keep it going. That long shot, evidence of that. And the big news, Tom Pody able to play, and you jam that foot in the skate and you can't feel the pain as much, and Pody is in the lineup again tonight.
Face-off left of Steve Passmore. Well, the Hawks have really struggled at home, as we illustrated. Their first win at home came against the Islanders 2 nights ago as Steve Passmore shut them out. Sullivan for Gilmore, a weak shot off the glove of Salo to the corner. Gilmore puts it in behind the net for Sullivan. Back in front, Mamadi scores!
get in trouble right here. Gilmore tips the puck, and now watch the Oilers scrambling in their own zone. And look at Tony Amati has position on Tom Poti. Now Gilmore throws it around behind. Now watch in front of the net. Here comes Tony Amati. He's cutting across, and you can see Tom Poti is behind him. And that's why he can't get to his stick. Tommy Salo is going across the other way. Amati's momentum going in the opposite direction. Salo had no chance once Poti couldn't cover Amati.
Two-time 40-goal scorer, has his 8th of the season. Coming off a 2-goal effort against the Islanders, he scored 2 game winners against the Oilers last season. Big Tony Amati, and here's a fight. Mark Janssens and George Laraque in the Oilers zone to the right of Tommy Salo. And they're both throwing some big ones, and Laraque landed a couple of big lefts near the end of that one.
Mark Janssens is game, but he's not in the same category as George Laraque. And I think George proved that. And you can see Janssens checking just below his nose. Now here's where it starts. And you can see they're willing combatants. And you can see Janssens is in the defensive posture right away, and he took a couple of lefts, as you said, Bruce, right at the end of that one.
They both get fighting majors at 2:06.
Chicago Blackhawks forwards have been disappointing, especially Doug Gilmour. Wendell Clark's not in the lineup. They expected more from him. Steve McCammon has his 3 goals, and they're hoping Steve Sullivan, picked up from the Leafs, can get Gilmour going. They expect more now that Boris Mironov is on the blue line, more offense from the defense, and they'd love to get Alexei Zhamnov back. He's off to a pretty good start.
Chicago's scoring play, Amati's 8 from Gilmour and Sullivan at 1:50, so it's 1-0 Hawks early. Not the start the Oilers were looking for as they conclude this 5-game road trip. John Brown around the boards for Ethan Morrow, and the former Hawk rolls it to center. Smolik gets bumped by Todd Marchand. Morrow steals it and shoots it into Chicago territory. Greer into the corner against Cote. Now Dean McCammon gets bumped by Morrow, and the puck slides to center. On Brown. His pass off a stick. It's Marha for Chicago. He backhands it behind the net. LaFlamme is there to Sean Brown. Off the glass, and the puck came to Morrow at center. Mike Greer a step on the defense, but Smolik recovered to break that play up at the line. Morrow dumps his man near center, and the puck goes into the Oilers' zone. Hawks making changes. Jason Smith up to Mike Greer. He gets belted at center by LaRue. Mironov back to touch the puck, and it's icing against the Oilers. And John, you would expect a physical contest tonight. Lauren Mulliken has a few tough guys in his lineup.
He was expecting a physical confrontation. The Oilers, a desperate team looking for that first road win. And you talked about the Blackhawks winning their first home game 5-0 against the Islanders. They didn't play that well in that game. They got outshot 24-19. They felt they got some good chances, and they scored on their chances, but they felt that that wasn't one of their best home games, and yet it's the only one they've been able to win.
Lauren Mulliken, a former member of the Oilers organization, coached their farm team in Hamilton before landing his NHL job after Dirk Graham was released. Paul Comrie. Checked along the boards by Daze. Nienema off the boards. Nylander there for the Hawks. Trying to feed Mironov at the point, but Comrie saw that coming. He goes cross ice for Jason Smith, who left the puck for Guerin. The puck is in behind the net. Nienema off the glass over the stick of Comrie. There's Mironov pinching Daze in the slot to Nylander. He turns away from Comrie. Nylander high in the slot to Mironov. To LaRue. His centering pass is off the stick of Comrie as the Hawks try and get the Oilers running around again. LaRue. Rolled in the corner by Jason Smith. Daze ties up his man. Nylander from behind the net. Trying to work free from Phil Guerin. Hawks doing some good work down low on this shift. Nylander. For Daze. Daze protecting the puck. It's Sullivan moving right in and backhander, and a nice stick save there by Tommy Salo. Rebound goes to Guerin, and he lifts it down the ice right on Passport.
What a play by Tommy Salo. Sullivan thought he had him beaten, and Salo reached back with the stick in desperation, took it right off Steve Sullivan.
Sullivan still looking for his first goal of the season. Hammerlick to Doug Waite. Wade in on the backhand. Puts it into the crease. That's off the stick of Ryan Smith. Sullivanov behind the goal to Wade. Trying to go high on Passmore. He got his arm on it. Sullivanov in the corner. Now the Oilers with pressure. Ryan Smith behind the net. He's grabbed by Manson. Doug Wade to the puck. The Smith side of the net shovels it to the side of the goal, and covering up there is Steve Passmore.
First good pressure by the Oilers. Steve Passmore with a save on Doug Wade, but the best save so far has been Tommy Salo on Steve Sullivan. A beautiful pass. Look at Sullivan, thinks he has Tommy Salo going the wrong way. He tries to pull it back, and Salo, in desperation, reaches the goal stick back. Sullivan goes around him. He thinks he's got him. And look at Tommy Salo right here. He's fully extended. Just picks it right off Sullivan's stick. Sullivan thinks he's got him. That's why he's coming back to his forehand instead of going all the way around the net. And Salo just outthought him on that one.
This is Salo's 5th career game against the Hawks. He has never beaten Chicago. It has certainly given the Oilers brilliant goaltending this season. A 2.25 average coming in. Face off right of Passmore. Wade back at the line to Pody. He rolls it in behind the goal for Ryan Smith. Doug Gilmore rolls it out at center. Amani without a stick. Pody near center. Cross ice pass for Smith. That was behind him. And Gilmore flips it in. Pody behind the net. Up on the left side for Ryan Smith. Hits Wade. Now to Sullivanov. Into the Chicago zone. Wade heads for the net. There's the pass over his stick. Smith after it in the corner against the former Red Wing Anders Eriksson, who came over in the Chris Chelios deal. Now to Sullivan at center. One-on-one against Pody. Good move by Sullivan, but Pody recovered to sweep it off the stick. Puck is in behind the net for Gilmore. Gilmore from the corner. Fell on the play. Hammerlick to the other corner, but Sullivan is waiting. Puts it in front. That's off the stick. Bounced off Sullivanov, but Pody keeps it in at the line. Shot blocked in front by Wade. He gives it to Smith at center, who just slides it in as the Oilers will make changes. 6 minutes into the first, 1-0 Chicago on a goal by Amani. Mollick up the boards to Blair Achinum. Out of Bob Probert at center. He sends it into the Oilers' zone. Salo around to Chad Kilger. To Sean Brown. To Bill Guerin. Creeping in on the left side. Stop. Shoot. And the puck over top of the net. Kilger on the rebound. Here's Guerin in front. Tipped on goal by Devereaux. Good save there by Passmore. And Marha takes over for the Blackhawks. Good opportunity there, John, for the Oilers.
Nice play by Chad Kilger to start that play. And boy, Devereaux with a smart move. Just get it on net. Steve Passmore with a good save.
John Brown off the boards at center. Devereaux can't reach it. Now it's Kilger for the Oilers. He's checked at the line by Mironov. Oilers nearly caught on a change. Here's Jason Smith at center. Into the Chicago zone. The slot shot and a blocker save there by Passmore. Jason Smith scores the go-ahead goal for the Oilers in St. Louis on Friday. Chad Kilger throwing his weight around. He's dumped Dumont. He dumps it into the Oilers zone. Smith around to Ethan Morrill. Morrill with it again. Now to Jason Smith. Shoots it through center. Morrow not sure where it is, and it comes to Mironov. Off the boards for Marha. He got hit by Yanni Niedemann. The puck deep in the Chicago zone. McCabe up to LaRue. Now to Nylander at center. He's turned back by Marchand. Daze just inside the line. The long shot didn't get much on it. That's over the Oiler net. Niedemann in the corner. And the puck comes to Ethan Morrill. Morrow down the right side. Offside on the play was Mike Greer. Nearly 8 minutes into the first period in Chicago. It's 1-0 Hawks.
It's a Canadian game.
I'm a busy guy. I hate to miss calls. I'm quite curious. Nice car. Not only to waste time. Oh, I miss my sweetie in Toronto.
The Value Bundle from TELUS. Your local line, free personal call management services of your choosing, and 100 minutes long distance a month. Call for help building your bundle.
Pretty busy and not a lot of time for myself, you know.
From TELUS.
Mornings are never easy, but a hot breakfast sure helps. Start your day with McDonald's new freshly baked breakfast bagels. There's classic ham and egg, zesty Western omelet, and sizzling bacon and egg, all served on bagels we bake fresh daily.
Oilers fans everywhere. Well, maybe he's not a true blue Oiler fan. He has the autographed Blackhawk game shirt, the Oiler game shirt underneath, and a Canada cap on, Bruce.
That little guy can't lose, John.
Depends on who's ahead. He just switches. If the Oilers tie this one up, then the big decision happens.
Yep. Oilers played quite well in Chicago as of late, down 1-0 early. In the first, Tony Amonte with the goal. Puck just inside the line. Smith to Sullivan on the backhander. Pass for the save, and he squeezes it between his arm and jersey.
That one almost squeaked through, and you can tell by the way Steve Passmore reacted on this backhand. It's off the inside of his arm and falls down. Sullivanov knows he can't drive to the net. He's being hooked. So he lets the backhand go, and look at Passmore. He slides across because he can feel it go off the inside of his arm. There it is. It's off the inside of his arm down into his pads. He's able to hang on.
Sullivanov, the leading Oilers goal scorer, 7 goals in his last 9 games. Face off left of Passmore. Dave Manson and Sullivanov all tangled up. Ryan Smith on the end board gets banged in there. Now Smith behind the net to Doug Waite. Waite looks around, coming in front, shooting. Passmore got a piece of it loose at the crease. They score! Sullivanov, and it's 1-1.
And there's Steve Passmore whacks the top of the net. But what a great play by Doug Waite. Alex Sullivanov goes to the net and gets the garbage as Doug Waite brings it out. And look at Steve Passmore. He gets some help from his defenseman, but then they push around and don't see Sullivanov coming in from behind. Look at Waite, not your usual wraparound. Pulls it back and then snaps it. And that creates all the confusion in front. Look at Ryan Smith. What a great job by him. He takes both defensemen. Waite, everybody goes for Ryan Smith. Doug Gilmour's there, and here comes Sullivanov in from behind, and no chance for Steve Passmore.
Almost looked like Waite got a piece of the post there, John, but you're right. He made a great play to set up that goal by Sullivanov, his team leading 11th of the season, and it's 1-1. The Oilers kind of a shaky start, but able to tie it up. Waite and Smith with the assist at 8:13. And here they come again as Baranek rolls it in. Passmore will play it himself down the board for Daze. George Larac keeps it in. Back battling along the board. And the puck cleared by Daze to center. They'll slam right back in for the Oilers. Omri waiting in the corner off the heel of his stick. It came to Pollock to LaRue. His pass at center to Nylander. 4 Hawks hit the line. The Oilers, Baranek couldn't clear it. Here's Daze, but a backhander. That's blocked at the defense. LaRue into the corner. Up the puck behind the net for Nylander. Daze trying to set up in front. Baranek staying with it. Now LaRue out there. There's the pass off Brown to the corner. LaRue back for Nylander. Left it for Daze behind the net. Daze takes a couple of whacks from Baranek. Nylander trying to go to the front of the net. Now LaRue picks it up, takes the shot, and Sallow got a piece of that. It's been an effective line early. Nylander in front for Daze. Baranek with the Oilers in trouble off the glass and out.
Michael Nylander looks very good so far, but the Oilers know from playing against him for so long, you get a chance to hit him, and he won't nearly be as effective.
Minima in front to Jason Smith. Smith up on the left side. Boyd Devereaux stick handling into the Chicago zone. Back in behind the net, Bill Guerin has it. Guerin looks around. Devereaux got cross-checked by Mironov. Mironov sidesteps a check from Chad Kilger. Kilger hands it off to Guerin. Back for Kilger, and the shot goes wide off the heel of his stick. The puck is pounded down the ice by Mark Jansen. Zenema No icing, so Nienema plays it to Jason Smith in the corner. Smith up the right side. And he bounced off the divider. Now Atchingham behind the net. He's bumped by Nienema. Jansen's shot goes just wide. Bill Guerin off the stick of Probert to center. Here's Pilger for the Oilers. Crisscrosses with Devereaux and backhands it in. 10.5 minutes into the first period. It's a 1-1 tie in Chicago. Probert to center. He shoots it into the Oilers' zone. Morrow behind the net. Gives it to Tom Porty, who kicks it up to Mike Greer. Greer's pass too far ahead for Marchand. Erickson turning in his own zone. For Dave Manson, another former Oiler. There's former Oilers all over the league, John. Dean McCammon out to center. He shoots it in. Dumont giving chase. Off the stick of Hammerlick. McCammon along the boards with Todd Marchand. Now Dumont for Chicago. To the side of the net, Sallow collided with Dean McCammon as play carries on. The fans wanted a penalty there on the Oiler net line.
Dean McCammon cut right through the crease.
McCammon, high on the slot. Tried to give it to Manson. He comes in deep. His shot intercepted, and Hammerlick backhands it to the line, but Manson kept it in, or tried to keep it in, as the puck goes over the glass and into the seats. Amati for the Hawks, Sullivanov for the Oilers. It's 1-1.
So, he came around the car to open her door, and there, hanging from the door handle, was a hook.
Hey, how's it going? Oh, somebody lose a hook? What?
Sooner or later,
What?
everybody needs a minivan.
Boston Pizza presents Ratzenberger P.I.
Crime scenes are my business, and I thought I'd seen everything. Seems as though some ball players entered the premises and knocked off some hot wings and delicious pizzas. We'll need a lineup.
Good food, good times. Come to BP's Lounge. Open late when others are closed.
Ah, a clue. Obviously, someone with a real small hand.
Come and get it all at Boston Pizza.
You may not know us yet by name, but we helped you turn yesterday into today, and today into an easier place to live. With us, you turn dirty into clean. Together, we turn dirt into life. And even winter into summer. We're power, water, and technology. We are EPCOR.
Here's another look at the Sullivanov goal. It goes off Doug Gilmour's stick, off Passmore, and there's Anders Eriksson. Takes Ryan Smith, but Sullivanov is wide open just to slide it in on the back end.
Face-off of Tommy Sallow just inside the line. 1-1 tie, 8:28 to go first period at the new United Center in Chicago. Beautiful facility, but it's not the same as Chicago Stadium, isn't it?
Not at all, and the visiting teams have done very well. We saw the Oilers' record in their last 4 visits. Everybody's record's better.
John Brown caught it up at the line, a 2-on-1. Here's Gilmour into the middle, got tripped up, and they don't get a shot on goal. The fans again calling for a penalty. Now Gilmour on the end boards. For Sullivan behind the net. He's tied up by Doug Waite. Gilmour in there digging for it. Sullivan trying to work free from Waite. Now Sullivan in the corner. Playing on waivers by the Hawks from the Maple Leafs. Sullivan to Gilmour. At the line, a body. Puts it in behind the net. Sullivan trying to come in front. Checked by Waite. It goes to Sullivanov. And he clears it for the Oilers. Gilmour, the new captain, to Smolik. And it's called on the 2-line offside pass. Well, Sullivanov with the Oiler goal, and Jan Polovich of Grand Prairie is our first lucky winner in the Safeway Club Score and Win contest. By swiping a club card at Safeway, Jan has won a VTech 900 megahertz digital cordless phone.
Good play by Christian Laflamme on Doug Gilmour. He got away with a sliding trip that the fans wanted a penalty on after Sean Brown had coughed up the puck. That was a good defensive play by Laflamme.
Face off inside the line, left of Passmore. Jason Smith In behind the net, Mironov there. It'll be interesting to see, John, how much gas he has in the tank tonight.
He looks pretty good. He looks like he's in good shape, but we have seen with Bill Guerin and those other players that it's the timing more than the endurance and the stamina.
Mironov to Daze. Shooting went for the far corner. Missed by much. Smith for the Oilers. Pass intercepted by Mironov. Nylander trying to poke it in for the Hawks. Probably been Chicago's best line in the period. McCabe at -11 coming into this one. Former Vancouver Canuck and New York Islander. He and Tommy Salo were chatting before the game as they warmed up. Back into the Chicago zone. Comrie got held up by Mironov. Back around the boards for Nylander. He dumps it out. Nylander, a nice addition with Alexei Zhamnov out of the groin injury, just about set to return. Tom Pody lost an edge, but still moved the puck to the center. Now Guerin in across the line. Deep little pass there to Kilger in the corner. Kilger in behind the Chicago net, unable to center it. Here's Hammerlick pitching in for the Oilers. Or Guerin in the corner. Devereaux. High in the slot, gets it to Hammerlick. The slot shot off the stick. Guerin's being double shifted in this first period. Seeing action on this line as well. Hammerlick shooting. That hit Guerin high. Pody in from the other side. Goes in behind the net, puts it in front. Matching him. Off the boards and down the ice. Icing waved off. And Hammerlick starting out from behind his own net. Pass up the middle for Todd Marchand. He sends it into the Chicago zone. Passport out to play it for Dean McCammon. McCammon got run over by Ethan Morrow. In behind the Chicago goal again for Tokyo. Pass off a skate, Bullock. In McCammon at center. Vision LaPlante. Whips it down the boards for Morrow, who had a strong game in our last telecast on A Channel. Couple of points again against the Phoenix Coyotes. Couple of goals. Marchand on the inboard. Puts it in front for Morrow. And the puck cleared by Marhan. Now McCammon for the Hawks. Big pass at center for Dumont. Didn't get anywhere against Jason Smith. 4:48 left in the first period. Oilers and Hawks tied at 1. Smith to center. Takes the long shot. Gloved by Passport. And he drops it for Mironov. Mironov trying to hop away from Ryan Smith. That may have been a dive. The referee, Dave Jackson, bought it. And the first penalty, at least minor of the game, goes to the Oilers, Ryan Smith.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Cameron Driver Training. Call now and drive into the new millennium.
I'm a busy guy. I hate to miss calls. I'm quite curious. Nice car. I don't like to waste time. Oh, I miss my sweetie in Toronto.
The Value Bundle from TELUS. Your local line, 3 personal call management services of your choosing, and 100 minutes long distance a month. Call for help building your bundle.
Pretty busy and not a lot of time for myself.
From TELUS.
It's the way a good steak sandwich tastes like it came from a steakhouse. Introducing the HP Steak and Cheese Sandwich at Subway. Made for you, just the way you want it. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Thinking about buying insurance through a 1-800 number? Often those voices are hundreds or thousands of miles away. Your independent insurance broker lives and works in your community. Peace Hills Insurance is proud to support independent insurance brokers throughout Western Canada.
Ryan Smith off for hooking Boris Mironov, and I agree with you, Bruce. It might have been a dive, but it's the position of this. Here's a little tug, Ryan Smith on Mironov, and look at Mironov. He's going to go down, but the Oilers would have had a scoring chance, and that's why that was called. The Oilers so far have out-hit the Hawks. They have it 18-7 unofficially. There is one, Ethan Morrow on Dean McCammon. There's another better look at it. Good solid hit by Morrow, no elbow, no high stick. And McCammon was fine after that one, catching his breath.
Pretty generous with their hitting stats, I would say, but a big one by Ethan Morrow on Dean McCammon. The Hawks power play 9th in the league. The Oilers penalty killing 8th.
But I would say the Oilers have out-hit the Hawks 2-1 to this point. It's not 18-7, but it definitely is. in favor of the Oilers.
Right now, get a 28-point winter checkup, oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a bonus emergency road kit. All for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
And after the Oilers started hitting, that's when they started carrying the play, the George Laraque bout. And things have turned around. The shots were 4-1 at that time. They're now 7-4 in favor of the Oilers.
Hawks power play has been pretty good over the last 8 games, 11 for 43. And we're tied at 1 here in the first. Tony Amati has it. Back to McCabe, snaps it on goal. Salo the save, rebound to the corner. McCabe can't keep it in at the line. 1:28 left in the minor penalty to the Oilers. Ryan Smith. Sylvain Cote with 3 power play goals gives it to Gilmore at center. Gilmore to the line for Amati. He had to wait. Challenged by Greer, and the puck back to center. Sullivan. His pass too far ahead for Cote, and it's slapped down the ice by Nienema. Here's Brian McCabe for Boris Mironov. Off his stick, and the Hawks can't get organized.
The Oilers penalty killers have done a good job on this road trip, doing exactly what they're doing here, challenging in the neutral zone. And the other team has to shoot it in, or you just won't have control.
Daze on the right side to Nylander. At the side of the net, it's Dumont. He lost control of the puck, and Morrow gives it to Devereaux at center. He overskated it. Mironov in his own zone for the Hawks with 27 seconds in the Chicago power play. Now Nylander. Stick handles into the Oilers' zone. Hammerling without a stick. He just threw it down. Must be broken. So the Hawks trying to take advantage. Eriksson right point over to Mironov. Back to Eriksson. Slap shot off the stick. The blade hit the post, but the puck's up center. That nearly fooled me, John.
There's a hand pass now by Eriksson. And that's one of those where the glue is not sticky enough, and the blade of the stick comes out of the shaft. Referee Swede, or linesman Swede Knox over picking it up. Here's the puck back to Eriksson, and you can see here comes the blade. It's on net. Good shot for the blade. The puck never made it through.
You ever get fooled like that when you played goal, a stick breaking, try to make the save on the stick instead of the puck?
Well, they didn't have the compound sticks like this, so the blades, then it was just little pieces of wood coming flying at you. And there's Eriksson. He's getting a chuckle out of it.
Yeah. Well, Hammerlich broke his stick, and Eriksson broke his blade. And the penalty is over to Ryan Smith. 2.5 minutes to go in the first, and a 1-1 tie. Sean Brown, big hit behind the net. On Dean McCammon. Second time McCammon's been drilled in this first period. Now McCammon comes off the boards. His shot goes wide on the short side. Guerin behind the goal. Mara is there for the Blackhawks. Being worked over by Sean Brown. LaRue in to help. Back for Marha under his stick. Guerin bumps with McCammon. LaFlamme just dumps it to center. Gilger trying to strip it from Bullock. He did. Devereaux in front for Guerin, and he couldn't get set for the shot. Now he drops it back. Nienema's shot deflects into the corner. McCammon winding up and slaps it past Jason Smith down the ice. And this will be icing against the Hawks with 1:37 to go in the first.
It's life in the fast lane at McDonald's, where you can drive through for great food fast.
Home record for the Hawks, a problem, as we mentioned, their first home win Friday night against the New York Islanders. They started the season with 3 straight ties. 4 of the games that they've played into ties, they've blown a lead in the last minute of play, and that's something a young team, a team with no confidence, that's a sign.
This slap shot, stick save by Passmore. He got dumped in front, and Ryan Smith was all tangled up with Boris Mironov. Then Smith gets tripped in the slot, and the Oilers saying to Don Koharski, where's the penalty?
And Dave Jackson out at center ice was looking at that.
Now the Hawks come back. Gilmore in front. That's off the stick of Nienema. And the Oilers counter. Ryan Smith without his helmet down the right side. Missed the check from McCabe. Puts it in front. Shot. They score! Yanni Niedema on a great play by Ryan Smith, and it's 2-1 Oilers.
Well, what a play by Ryan Smith, battling in front of the net and then battling along the boards on the rush. Now here's Doug Gilmour, tries this pass in front, and watch Yanni Niedema read the play and jump up. And there's Ryan Smith, battles along the boards, gets by his man, throws a hard pass. And look at Yanni Niedema. That's tough to do. Take that pass across your body and get all of it. And this pass is across Niedema's body. It's a left-hand shot coming down the left wing, and he beats Doug Gilmour to the puck and beats Steve Passmore. A beautiful pass from Ryan Smith that lays flat for Niedema, and no chance for Steve Passmore.
Niedema's third goal of the season, and Smith's second assist of this first period. And Niedema smiling. A beautiful play by the Oilers to take a 2-1 lead late in this first period.
1 minute to play in the period.
And here they come again, Ethan Morrow. Now they'll call it on the offside. Morrow involved in another big collision. Our next lucky winner in the Safeway Club Score and Win contest is Sandy Haig of Spruce Grove. Sandy entered at Safeway by swiping a Safeway Club card. Congratulations, you've won a scraper and carver kit from Skill.
Boris Mironov gets his first minus in his first game back. Bruce, he was out there for that one.
You would have to bring that up.
Yes.
Well, it's always tough, as we know, John, when you miss this much action. Usually the first game you're playing on adrenaline, and then reality sets in for a couple of weeks before you get into game shape, correct?
Well, you're practicing at the University of Toronto with a university team, and then all of a sudden everything is happening so fast, and you see a play like that, you just can't react quickly on it.
Warriors were at full speed on the rebound. They score! Todd Marchand on a bad rebound by Passmore. 2 late goals by the Oilers here in the first, and it's 3-1.
And the last minute of play is one of those deadly things, and Lorne Mulliken, the last 2 games that Jocelyn Thibault has played, he's got the hook after 3 goals against, and now Steve Passmore has 3 against here early in this one. Here's a play to keep it in. A nice shot there, and you can see Todd Marchand come in. Ethan Morrow makes a good play to Mike Greer along the boards. And there's Morrow to Greer, the shot, and Todd Marchand is right there. And as you say, Bruce, that's a bad rebound. That is out in front. Passmore should try and steer that to the corner. Instead, he put it back out in front. Todd Marchand was right there.
Goals 25 seconds apart by the Oilers. Or 30, make that 35 seconds apart, and they lead it 3-1. Now the Oilers call for icing with exactly 20 seconds to go in this first period. Well, Todd Marchand scores, and so does Sabina Coutu of Edmonton by swiping a club card at Safeway and automatically entering the Safeway Club Score and Win contest. Sabina has won a Fill-A-Shave with reflex action from Phillips.
After about the first 3 minutes of this period, it's been all Oilers. They've outshot the Hawks 8-1. They've outscored them 3-0. They've out-hit them at least 2-1 in that time period. Killed a penalty. Done everything right.
Last 2 goals, Niedema from Sullivanov and Ryan Smith at 18:55, and Marchand from Greer and Morrow at 19:30. First time this season that Ethan Morrow has a point against the team other than the Phoenix Coyotes. Bill Guerin into the Chicago zone, made a good move on Smolik, puts it in front. The Oilers looking for more. Here's Guerin back in the line. LaFlamme shooting, and the horn sounds to end what was a disastrous end to the first period for the Hawks. So the Oilers get 3 in the first, 2 and 35 seconds near the end of the period, and lead it 3-1.
Promotional consideration by Vivitar, the leader in quality cameras. Autofocus model 520MZ features 2-time zoom, electronic auto flash, and red eye reduction.
Play, score, and win at Safeway. Swipe your Safeway Club card for entry. Receive a bonus entry with the purchase of ABC Laundry Detergent, Heinz Ketchup. Swipe, and you could be on your way to Puerto Vallarta for a 7-night stay at the all-inclusive Crown Paradise Resort via Air Transat, courtesy of World of Vacations, your #1 tour operator to the sun. Swipe your card today for incredible in-store savings and your chance to win playing Safeway Club Score and Win.
That's gotta hurt. You see, Mike Smith came to us a couple of months ago with his dream of running with the Bulls in Spain. He was quite serious. So we made a couple of suggestions, and, well, now look at him. Don't look back, Mike. Don't look back. Introducing a new way of borrowing. The Scotia Total Equity Plan. Get what you want out of life.
Tonight.
What kind of shoes will you be wearing when your day comes?
The problem with being number one is
I studied everything you ever did.
no one
I'm going to tear your heart out.
likes being number two.
Stole my contract.
Sylvester Stallone, Antonio Banderas, Assassin, tonight at 9 on A Channel.
Some big wheels are just rolled into Canadian Tire. Names like Michelin, Goodyear, Uniroyal, and BF Goodrich. Whether they're for your light truck or car, you need them, we've got them. So roll into Canadian Tire today, and you'll roll out with a great deal. Because nobody but Canadian Tire can bring the biggest brand names in tires
down to our lowest prices guaranteed. After all, we are Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire, still the right place.
Well, the Hawks score early. The Edmonton Oilers score late. 2 goals in the last minute and 5 seconds. Edmonton leads Chicago 3-1 after 20 minutes of play. And we're now joined by former Oiler, current Chicago Blackhawk, Boris Mironov. Your thoughts on the first 20 minutes, Boris?
You know, we play a pretty good game, you know. We have a couple lucky rebounds, and Edmonton used that and score, you know, 2 easy goals. And but our team played really well, you know, try hard and short shifts, you know. And we're looking forward. We got lots of time to go, 40 minutes, and it's nothing over yet. And we want to go come back second period and show what we want to do.
How'd you feel that first 20 minutes?
I felt good, you know, and I try to use the short shifts, you know, and stay home more defensive for tonight. You know, it's first game since April, you know, and after 6 months, and I feel pretty good, actually.
You had a good battle going with Ryan Smith. How does it feel to play against the old team?
You know, that's what about hockey, you know, a physical game, and that's we're looking forward, you know, and I don't want to stay around and look when my forwards, you know, try pick rebounds or something. I have to play physical and tough game.
Well, to stay in shape, you skated with the University of Toronto and on your own, but mentally, how do you keep in shape when you go through the kind of negotiations you went through, and for a time it looked like you might not come back to Chicago?
You know, it's a really tough time, but we already signed a deal, and I think everything behind me, and I'm very happy to be with this team right now and play for Chicago Blackhawks. And if I play well, I help my team, you know, win some games, and what I'm looking forward and play well.
Appreciate your time, Boris.
Thank you very much. Yep.
Boris Mironov of the Chicago Blackhawks. His Hawks trailing the Edmonton Oilers by a count of 3-1 after 20 minutes of play. Now, stay tuned as we'll have a look at our feature called Pro Player Prospects.
Pro Player Prospects, your inside look at the Edmonton Oilers for years to come.
Very rarely do the Oilers draft anything but the best player available, except for 6'3", 240-pound George Laraque. George was a second-rounder, 31st overall in '95, so they liked a lot more than his toughness.
Yeah, we did. But you know, the primary focus at that point was that we didn't feel our organization was tough enough, but George was by far the toughest player in hockey. We didn't feel at that point if we let him go to the third round, we weren't going to see him.
Gifted with excellent hands and even better feet, there's a lot more to Laraque than pugilistic prowess. They've challenged his toughness at every level. Trouble is, the challengers are getting slim.
They learned right away this guy's the real deal, and that respect comes awful hard in his job, and it's probably got to be the toughest job in hockey, knowing that when you come to a rink every night that you might have to fight.
Pro Player, official on-ice apparel supplier to the Edmonton Oilers. Pro Player Sports Apparel. Are you a fan? Visit us at www.proplayer.com.
For the fan who calls in sick on opening day, who sacrifices their favorite cap for a hat trick, who would never leave a game early to beat traffic.
Pro Player Sports
If you can't find great hockey on TV, don't blame me. I was given a gift to play hockey well, to play with skill within the rules. And when I know there's a bunch of games on and I can't get them on cable, I get so mad that it hurts me, like a stick in the guts or a glove in the face.
The revolutionary Braun Oral-B 3D. It's the only plaque remover designed to pulsate deep between teeth. It pulsates to loosen plaque and oscillates to sweep it away. It cleans deep, better than an ordinary toothbrush. The Braun Oral-B 3D. It pulsates deep to clean better. Right now, if you try any Braun Oral-B plaque remover, we guarantee a definite improvement in your oral health or your money back.
It was a night hockey fans will never forget. Wayne came home, and number 99 went up. Relive the moment with never-before-seen footage. Check out the Great One's NHL stats and much more. Share his memories of this very special event in an exclusive interview.
It was only fitting that my career would end where it all began, which was Edmonton.
Call 1-877-WAYNE-99 to order this limited edition collectible CD-ROM for just $19.99. Order now while quantities last.
Good evening, I'm Krista Platzer. Hope you're enjoying the game. Some of the stories we'll have for you tonight on 8 Channel News at night. A house fire in Mill Woods. 6 people were at home at the time of the blaze. Damages are pegged at close to $100,000. We'll have the details. And it's a wrap. The 26th annual Canadian Finals Rodeo has ended for another year. Just how successful was it? 8 Channel's Molly Finley will have the story. Plus, an inner-city house is boarded up today, so just what are the residents doing? We'll update you on that story we told you about yesterday. And it's a very special day at University Hospital. We'll tell you why. Sunny Sidhu has all our entertainment news in sports. Do or die for the Eskimos, and Lennox Lewis is the world heavyweight champ. Adam Cook has all the day's sports action. Hope you'll join us for these stories and more tonight at 11:40. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Of all the reasons to choose a Dodge Caravan, here's one that's only available for a limited time. Lease rates as low as $268 a month. Just one more reason among many to choose Canada's best-selling minivan. Only at your neighborhood Alberta Chrysler Dodge Jeep retailer.
You may not know us yet by name, but we helped you turn yesterday into today, and today into an easier place to live. With us, you turn dirty into clean. Together, we turn dirt into life. And even winter into summer. We're power, water, and technology. We are EPCOR.
You get to be renowned. You have to be noun first.
Wow. Suck it up, 8 Channel fans. It's time to get a little more. Stop it. A little more crazy. A little more weird. A lot more style. You need a little action today? In the meantime, you want 8 Channel.
Great moments in Canadian sport history. A look at some of the defining moments in Canadian sports.
Look up courage in the dictionary and you're sure to find the name Terry Fox. He was diagnosed with bone cancer in March of 1977 and had to have his right leg amputated 6 inches above the knee. Terry, never concerned with his handicap, decided to put together a dream. Terry began his marathon of hope in Newfoundland on April 12, 1980. Despite the pain and exhaustion, Fox managed to average 42 kilometers a day for 143 days. His run, though, was cut short on September 1st of 1980 as the cancer had spread to his lungs. But through the Terry Fox Foundation, his dream, his inspiration, lives on. In 1999 alone, the Terry Fox Run featured 1.2 million participants and raised $17.5 million for cancer research.
Great moments in Canadian sport history. Brought to you by the Government of Canada.
Welcome back. Chicago opened the scoring, but the Oilers wrapped it up late in that first period as Edmonton leads this one over the Blackhawks by a count of 3-1. We're now joined by Oilers assistant coach Craig McTavish. Not a good start, but a great finish.
Well, we're pretty happy with the way we're sitting right now. Up by 2 in their building is a pretty good situation for us, but there's a lot of hockey left.
You guys have had the lead on the road before. What do you try and tell the guys to make sure it stays that way?
Well, I think we've learned from the school of hard knocks before. We've had 2-goal leads, and they've deteriorated rather quickly in the past. But our team's been playing pretty well lately, and we expect the same in the second and third period. Hopefully we can bring a win home.
This team has had some unlucky bounces on the road. Do you hope that those go your way as well so you can get that first win on the road?
Well, it's starting to become a little bit of an albatross around our neck in that we haven't won on the road. So we're looking to rectify that tonight, as we are every night. But, by the way and the intensity and the way the guys are playing right now, we're happy with the effort so far in this road trip.
Thanks, Craig. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
One other game in the NHL tonight. Rob Blake has his 8th goal of the season. LA has only lost once in their last 9. They lead Phoenix 1-0 after 20 minutes of action. And this is a look at our control room, and the Oilers in control after 1 period. Second period is up next.
Hazardous product like this, except the tobacco industry.
A message from the Government of Canada.
TELUS is looking for your opinions with TELUS Hit the Net Interactive. Simply visit the official Oilers website at www.edmontonoilers.com and answer this week's question. You'll automatically be entered to win a weekly prize of a $10 prepaid loan.
Tonight at 9, Antonio Banderas stars in Assassins on A Channel.
Welcome back to the United Center in Chicago. It is the Oilers 3 and the Hawks 1 after 1. Great first period, John, for the Oilers as we look at all the scoring.
Well, it wasn't a great start. In the first 2 minutes of play, Doug Gilmour to Steve Sullivan, out to Tony Amade going one way, Tommy Salo's going the other way, and Amade makes sure by getting it up in the air over Tommy Salo's stick. And then the Oilers start to come back. Great play by Doug Weight, comes out of the corner. Ryan Smith does his job, and Alex Sullivanov is there just to tap it into the empty net. Now here's the transition for the Edmonton Oilers. Nice little touch pass to Ryan Smith. He goes around Brian McCabe right here. Good move by Smith to Yanni Nienema. Hard pass, and Nienema on the forehand doesn't stop it, just one-times it. No chance for Steve Passmore on that one. And then less than a minute later, Mike Greer with the shot. Steve Passmore, bad rebound right out to Todd Marchant. And again, he doesn't stop it. The one-timer beats Passmore.
So look at the first period summary. Tony Amade opens it up at 1:50, but then it was all Oilers. Sullivanov tied it at 8:13, and then 2 goals in 35 seconds. Nienema's 3rd of the year, followed by Marchant's 2nd at 19:30. Oilers out shooting the Blackhawks 10-5. Good period for Ryan Smith and Doug Weight. Doug Weight with 2 assists, now 500 career NHL points.
The shots on goal, 10-5. The hits were 9-5, Bruce. The official hits were 9-5. And I think the Oilers probably deserved a few more than that, but not the 20-9 that they had here at the United Center, just as they were doing them.
Well, the Oilers looked a little shaky early, you're right, John, but after about the 5-minute mark of that first period, they really took this one over.
In every aspect, their penalty kill was very good. The Hawks had one shot on goal on that power play. That was the only shot they had after the 3-minute mark.
So second period coming up. See how the Hawks respond after not finishing the first very well, to put it mildly.
I thought we might see Jocelyn Thibault, although his last 2 starts at home, the fans have been on him, and I think Lauren Mulligan would prefer to have Thibault get his next start on the road.
Bucks off in the second period. McCabe shooting it in. Tommy Salo down the boards for Ethan Morrow. He will join our Gene Principe in the second intermission of tonight's game. The former Blackhawk, and now play is called.
Boris Mironov's going to get an interference penalty on Todd Marchand. And this one, we thought the Ryan Smith penalty was a little soft. Don Kowarski calls this one, and this is more or less an even-up call. Here's Mironov on Todd Marchand right there. And you can see Don Kowarski is the back official, makes the call, and Mironov is taking his time, finally goes into the penalty box.
And it'll be the Oilers' first power play of the hockey game.
Blackhawk penalty number 2 for Mironov. 2 minutes for interference at 15 seconds.
So the Hawks are shorthanded, and if the Oilers score a power play goal anytime tonight, Dynamic Mutual Funds will make a charitable donation to the Oilers Eskimos Carnival Charity Foundation. And the Oilers put their power play to work, tied for 22nd in the NHL, but 6 for 30 in the last 8 games, John.
And is playing with some confidence, and they've been able to get 1 goal in 6 of the last 8 and have had a ton of chances with the man advantage.
And the Hawks' penalty killing has been terrific. They have killed 31 straight and moved up to a tie for 10th after a terrible start. Sullivanov at center. To Waite, and across the Hawk line to Sullivanov along the boards. In the corner for Ryan Smith. Oilers set it up on the power play. Waite behind the net. See if he comes in front again like he did in the first. Gives it to Nienema right point. Back to Waite along the boards into the circle. Sullivanov. Side of the net, and chipping it just wide was Ryan Smith. Sullivanov gets it back. Now to Waite. Smith setting up again. Nienema to Hammerlick. In the corner to Doug Waite. Oilers moving it around nicely on the power play. Hammerlick to Nienema. Slap shot, scores!
Alex Sullivanov tips that one by Steve Passmore. A beautiful play. They had the Ryan Smith chance earlier, and that's what we've been talking about, this power play chances. They had the Ryan Smith chance that they didn't get a shot on goal. They get this beautiful play. Yanni Nienema gets this puck back, and watch Alex Sullivanov go to the backhand. Here's a nice low shot, and look at Sullivanov. There he is on the backhand, tips it up and over Steve Passmore. Nienema throws a catch with Roman Hammerlick, gets it back, nice low shot, and here's Sullivanov. Perfect position to get it up and over the Chicago goaltender. Not much chance for Passmore on this one. There's the backhand tip by Alex Sullivanov, a skillful goal scorer's goal.
3 goals in 2 minutes and 27 seconds for the Oilers as they are exploding at the United Center tonight and lead the Hawks 4-1. Alex Sullivanov continues to be red hot in the goal-scoring department for the Oilers. His 12th of the year, his 5th on the power play, his 2nd tonight. The Hawks open the scoring, but the Oilers have exploded since then. John Brown to the line. Manson's long shot off the goalpost. And play is called.
It was knocked down with a high stick by the Blackhawks, and that's why Tommy Salo looked so awkward on that long shot. And the faceoff will come outside.
Well, here we go again with our Safeway Club score and win contest. Joseph Artimowicz of Spruce Grove qualified by swiping a club card at Safeway. As a result, Joseph has won a mini stereo system from Daewoo.
Dave Manson takes this shot now, and watch Eric Daze in front of the net. Here it's high, and look at Daze. He's over his head, over the crossbar, and that's why Salo didn't get it with his glove. And a good call by the official, Don Kowarski.
Sullivanov from Nienema and Hammerlick at 1:22, and here we go with round 2 for George Larac, but this time it's with Bob Probert. Two of the NHL's best heavyweights are going at her.
And Probert's throwing a lot of punches, but George Larac holding his own.
Probert trying to be the aggressor early. George Larac so strong, and Probert so experienced. George trying to get that left free.
And Probert now with his sweater off.
And that's when the linesman should get in there, because it's definite advantage to the player without a sweater.
And there's George Larac. No problem, no damage done. And
Probert will be done, won't he? Wasn't tied down. Be interesting to see.
Some big wheels are just rolled into Canadian Tire. Names like Michelin, Goodyear, Uniroyal, and BF Goodrich. Whether they're for your light truck or car, you need them, we've got them. So roll into Canadian Tire today, and you'll roll out with a great deal. Because nobody but Canadian Tire can bring the biggest brand names in tires down to our lowest prices guaranteed. After all, we are Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire, still the right place.
Well, if the Oilers' Alex Selivanov or anyone else should score a hat trick tonight, a lucky Safeway shopper will instantly win a fabulous World of Vacations trip for two to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Bruce, you were talking about the George Larac-Bob Probert fight. You could see Don Koharski motion to Doug Weight that, yes, Probert had the shirt tied down, but it tore the tie down off. And Probert doesn't get any extra penalties. You can see Koharski over at the penalty box now.
I think George probably had a pretty good idea at the morning skate that he may look at Mr. Probert and Mr. Jansen's tonight, and he has through just over one period of this hockey game. Oilers 4, Hawks 1. Well, the Hawks needed a spark. Let's see if Probert gave them one. Joe Guerin rolls at the center. The puck chopped in by Steve Sullivan. Christian LaFlamme around for Guerin. Came to Baranek. He got held up. Baranek near center. And it could move on a money and dumps it into Chicago territory. Passmore out to play it. Comrie knocks it down in the corner. Centers it. Baranek, a backhander at Passmore. Just got a piece of that. Now a penalty coming to Boris Mironov. It'll be his second penalty of the period as he and Paul Comrie from behind. And the Oilers, who already have a power play goal, go right back to the man advantage.
I don't know whether this is going to be cross-checking or boarding, and I think Don Koharski just gave the cross-checking signal to Boris Mironov. And a little frustration showing. Mironov is shaking his head. Now here's the chance. Shows a Baranek on the backhand. It's off Steve Passmore's head. Up and over. Comrie gets there first, and here's the hit from behind. And Don Koharski calls it cross-checking, but that's that dangerous area that players hate to see. Go 2 feet away from the boards, and Comrie was fortunate he went down before he hit the boards.
Well, the Oilers right back to the power play, and they'll send Wade Smith, Nienema, Hammerlick, and Selivanov out there against Lauren Mulligan's Blackhawks, who are not playing well at home again tonight.
See, the Oilers power play only had one shot, and that was the goal on the first power play, but they had a couple of chances that missed the net before they scored.
Face off right of Passmore. And Smith into the corner against Erickson. He got hit from behind, and that could have been a penalty. Smith very slow to get up. And he'll shake it off. The Oilers hope he does, and Hammerlick has the puck behind his net. Ryan Smith very slow to get up, but now after the puck inside the Chicago zone, he takes a little bump from Dave Manson. The Oilers were offside on the play.
And Smith goes over and talks to Anders Eriksson. Now here's the hit from behind, and there's Eriksson again, that dangerous area, the shot from behind, and that's one the officials should call. Here it is. And Ryan Smith's fortunate that he rolled his shoulder and protected his head on that play, and that's the one that they want the officials to call all the time.
That was worse than the penalty they called on Mironov.
because Ryan Smith was in motion. Paul Comrie was standing still. And you can see that the Oiler bench is giving it to Dave Jackson, as well they should.
Well, fortunately, Ryan is okay and stays on the ice. 1:38 left in the penalty. The Hawks really should be 2 men short. Hammerlick pounds it in. Doug Wade along the boards, trying to go to the net. Wade on the backhand. Couldn't jam it in. Wade in behind the net. Our captain ran out of room. Hammerlick along the boards. Oilers throwing the puck around nicely on the power play. Hammerlick. Hard pass for Solovanov. Already with a pair of goals. Looking for the hat trick. Now to Wade in the corner. Into the circle. He looks around. Back to Niederman. Now to Wade. Out of the net. Solovanov scores! Tried to center it for Smith. And it went in on the Hawks defenseman. And Solovanov has the hat trick.
Good puck movement, and Sylvain Cote is the one who it banks off his skate past Steve Passmore. And Passmore is coming off a shutout where he had some breaks against the Islanders. Now all the breaks are going against him. This is one of those games where you stand in the net and you think, well, no matter what I do, it's going to go in. Good puck movement, as you said, Bruce. Look at the Oilers throw this puck around and open the box up. And now the Hawks are scrambling. You see the box trying to react. Now they're scrambling. And there's the pass out. It's supposed to go to Ryan Smith, but it's off Cote's skate and in. Nice pass from Doug Wade to Solovanov. Wade gets his 3rd assist. Unless they give this unassisted because it banked in off a Hawk, Doug Wade should get another assist along with Johnny Niederman.
Well, the Oilers 2 for 2 on the power play, leading the hockey game 5-1. And they are not letting up tonight, John. Here's Marchand down to Greer shooting, and he rolled it just wide. Here along the boards. The Hawks reeling at this point.
That's the kind of game you want before you head out on a 7-game trip, and that faces the Hawks.
Which will include a visit to Skyreach Center. And on the left side is Nylander. Passed into the slot. Manson has it. Back to Nylander in the corner. Working on Tom Cody. Picked there by Daze. Nylander still has it. No one in front for the Hawks. Now Nylander comes in front, scores!
The Chicago Blackhawks got Michael Nylander was for his offensive abilities. There's a pick play that works for the Hawks. And now Nylander circles high and nobody goes to him. You can see the confusion of the Oilers as 3 of them collapse back low. And that opens a seam for Nylander. 3 Oilers go low, 1 goes high. Now Nylander's got lots of room, pulls it out, and gets it up and over Tommy Salo. Now watch the Oilers. Ethan Morrow spins instead of going to Nylander. He comes back, and you have 3 Oilers on 2 Hawks, and that's why Nylander is wide open.
Second goal of the season for Michael Nylander, just obtained from Tampa Bay. His first ever goal, John, against the Oilers. Playing in his 13th career game. And it's 5-2. We have a shootout at the United Center tonight.
I bet the Oilers don't want to turn this into a shootout.
Devereaux with Guerin going for the net. Drop pass. Shot blocked at the defense. Off the stick of Christian LaPlante. Big hit on Marha along the boards by Devereaux. Chad Kilger, who had a strong first period, trying to hold the puck near the Oiler bench. Devereaux left it for Sean Brown. Ian McCammon checked near center, and Guerin plays it back to Sean Brown. Just past the 5-minute mark in the second period. Oilers leading 5-2. Wade and Niederman with the assists on the 3rd goal by Solovanov. Nylander's goal came unassisted. Dumont to center. Takes the long shot off the chest of Tommy Salo. Gives the puck to Niederman. That goal by Nylander should give the Hawks a lift. High scoring games pretty rare in the NHL these days. I'll tell the Oilers that. Both these teams averaging just over 2 goals a game coming in. Gilmore left it for Sullivan. Stick handle. Shot just wide. Niederman. Hard around the boards for Ryan Smith. This pass cut off at center by Mironov. And Sullivan shoots it in for the Hawks. Galloway out of that to play it. Kicks it into the corner. Sullivan to Amati. Now to Doug Gilmour. Back in front for Amati, and a good defensive play there by Jason Smith of the Oilers. And he failed to clear it. Gilmour to the front of the net, but Niinema is there, and he'll backhand it out for the Oilers. Ryan Smith into the corner against Erickson. The man who hit him from behind, but with the left is not to go after him. Here's Sullivan in on the backhand, trying to center it. He does, and a good save there by Salo off Doug Gilmour. So the Hawks coming on. They're down by 3 in the second in Chicago.
I am the Rocky Mountains. 100 million years I have stood here. This I know. Lead with the left, follow with the right. Buy low, sell high. Look for windows of opportunity. Take the road less traveled. Keep your stick on the ice. The grass really is greener on the other side. And always maintain an open door policy.
Thanks for your help with the stuff, guys.
You used to have a sense of humor.
You like that, Dan? Didn't he steal your lunch money in 8th grade? You know, I was a pudgy kid. I think he was trying to do me a favor. Hi, guys.
She broke up with you?
Yeah, she broke up with me, okay?
Do you mind if I date her?
Thanks, Jer.
Further proof, we guess, that minivans really are for kids.
Come on, Mama's boy, let's go. Who you calling Mama's boy?
If you can't find great hockey on TV, don't blame me. I was given a gift to play hockey well, to play with skill within the rules. And when I know there's a bunch of games on and I can't get them on cable, I get so mad that it hurts me, like a stick in the guts or a glove in the face.
Laura Friesen of Red Deer shopped at Safeway, swiped a free club card, and automatically entered Club Score and Win. Congratulations, Laura. You've won quality kitchen appliances and cookware by T-Bell on a hot night for Sullivanov.
Here's Sylvain Cote, and you can see it's off his heel just inside the post. It's one of those nights for Steve Passmore, one of those nights for the Oilers where the breaks are going their way for a change on the road.
I was just going to say, John, they haven't had the breaks very often this season, but they've had a few tonight, and leading 5-2, a slap shot. Goes wide off the stick of Actionum. Now Morrill back in the corner to Hammerlick, and he flips it to center. Still plenty of time left, and what's going to shoot out between the Hawks and Oilers. I did a game in Chicago a few years ago, John. 12-9 was the final score in favor of the Oilers. We're not interested in anything like that tonight.
That's why that Tommy Salo save on Gilmour on the last rush for Gilmour is such a big save. Calms things down again. Stifle the momentum of the Hawks.
Owen behind the net, came to the line. Jason Smith chips it back in. Owen off the boards to the Oiler line as things do settle down a bit after a frantic start to the second period. Oilers at a 3-1 after one. It's now 5-2 Oilers. Actionum signed as a free agent by the Hawks. He backhands it in. John was pointing out this morning only 2 draft picks by the Hawks in their lineup. Well, you could say 3 if you include Dean McCammon, who spent some time in Edmonton. Daze through the slot, back in front. Good save by Salo as Nylander was going for the net. Now Daze behind the goal. His centering pass off the stick of Jason Smith. This has been the best Hawks line in this game. Nylander to Daze. At the point, here's McCabe shooting. That's gloved by Salo, and he'll hold on for a face-off to his right.
It's life in the fast lane at McDonald's, where you can drive through for great food fast.
With that third goal by the Oilers' Alex Selivanov, we now have an instant winner of a World of Vacations trip for 2 thanks to Safeway's Club Score and Win contest. Rita Beer, you have won a trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, where you and a guest will stay at the all-inclusive Crown Paradise Resort, courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. If you want to be our next lucky winner, just swipe your free Safeway club card at your local Safeway and watch the Oilers right here on A-Channel. Club Score and Win exclusively at Safeway, today's better way. The second career hat trick by Alex Solovyanoff, and Rena Beer happy about that, John.
Well, you look at his 3 goals tonight, 2 of them from almost in the crease and the other one from behind the net.
Tony Amani back in his own zone for the Hawks. Career-high 44 goals last year. Erickson off the boards to center. Nienema has it to Chad Kilger. Kilger nearly collided with Bill Guerin at center. He's been used on this line tonight. George Larocque's had a couple shifts every time he's on the ice. He's in a fight. Amani's shooting. That's blocked by Christian LaFlamme. Sullivan behind the net behind. Sullivan trying to work in front. Avoids a couple of runners. A backhander. Good save there by Tommy Salo. Aaron to center. Mironov comes cutting across. Pass in front for Devereaux. He couldn't reach it. Devereaux along the boards in the Chicago zone. That goal by Nylander has definitely given the Hawks more confidence.
Well, Doug Gilmour with a good pick play to allow Steve Sullivan some room to come out in front, but he couldn't get the shot away on Tommy Salo.
Daze made a good pick on the goal by Nylander as well. Get away with those when you're down by 4. Hammerlick at the line. Here's Daze, bumped by Doug Waite. Ryan Smith posted to the line. Cote for Daze. Pass through the middle. Jason Smith stood up, and Solovyanoff rolls it in for the Oilers. Daze's pass out at center. LaRue was checked by Doug Waite. Waite rolls it into the Chicago zone, then took a punch at Cote. Ryan McCabe to center. To Nylander. He jams on the brakes. Nylander waiting. Pushed off the puck by Hammerlick. Now it comes to Daze in the corner. LaRue's in front. Daze shooting. That's off Waite. And Hammerlick has it. And he'll just lift it to center. Love down there by Smolik, who gives it to Manson. Or Daze at center. Daze to Nylander. Turns away from Hammerlick. Nylander down the boards to LaRue, trying to keep it in. He does. Daze to Smolik. Shooting, foul the same rebound. Rolled just wide by LaRue. Hawks buzzing around here. Puck goes into the far corner. Smolik moving up on the play. Pinned on the boards by Jason Smith. And Smith will just dump it out for the Oilers. And this will be icing when Manson goes back to touch it. Alex Solovyanoff has 3 goals. And the Oilers lead 5-2 in Chicago.
Sam Abu Hassan Custom Clothier. Clothing suppliers for Oiler broadcasts. Over 2 decades of sheer quality. At Sam Abu Hassan, the tradition continues.
Battery in the world for ultra performance in whatever it powers. New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
Sports Select, because in life there's sports, and then there's all that other stuff.
There's a look at Alex Solovyanoff at the end of the bench, taking a breather as you can see his start. Look at 17 games, 13 goals. I'm sure he's not going to be able to keep that pace up, but when you're hot, you want to stay close to the net, and that's what Solovyanoff has done tonight. His first 2 goals, close to the net, bangs them in, and then the power play goal from behind the net, off a defenseman and in.
Shots in this period, John, are 7-2 Hawks, but the Oilers have scored on both their shots, and in fact, one was a pass. There's a backhander in on Tommy Salo, and he covers up for the faceoff.
If you check into the Edmonton Oilers website, you will see the Tell Us Hit the Net question as part of interactive questioning. And, well, lots of hits tonight by the Edmonton Oilers, and we're wondering who is the hardest hitter in Edmonton Oilers history. Brian Marchment, Dave Manson, Jeff Bukaboom, Craig Muni, or Mike Greer. 4 defensemen against the 4 guys. A tough one to call.
It is a tough one to call. You look at Dave Manson and Mike Greer. Mike Greer, I don't think, has played enough to be in the top hitter of that group.
Well, they were all hard hitters, no question about that. Who are you going with, John?
Well, I would think Brian Marchment, just because of the scary kind of hits. He's still famous for those.
I'll take Craig Muni. Speaking of a guy that was kind of scary, he used to dish out the old hip check once in a while.
Wide open ice hitting by Craig Muni, always fun to watch.
Niedemann to Marchand. His slap shot off the stick of Mironov. Ethan Morrow in behind the goal for Marchand. Fails to connect, and Amati moves it to center. Sullivan with Gilmore. Gilmore goes for the net. Sullivan drags it back right in. Took the shot. He went just a little too far and couldn't hit the open net. Boy, Steve Sullivan went crashing into the boards, and he goes to the bench slowly. But he's been darting around in the second period. Now Gene McCammon for the Hawks. For Gilmore. Put it right through the crease. Shot goes wide off the stick of Mironov. Gilmore on the end board. Puts it in front. Mironov backhand. Rebound. McCammon shot it wide. Boris Mironov acting like a forward on this shift.
Talking to Gene, he was saying he was going to stay back and just play defensively, but trailing by 3, there he was, almost standing in the crease.
Hawks not giving up, John. They've really been coming since that second goal by Nylander. Tommy Salo's been great in the second period. Jansen fires it in. Hammond hit in the corner by LaFlamme. Jansen's in behind the net, now to the corners for Atchison. He gets thrown into the end boards by Roman Hammerling. Hammerling to the corner. LaFlamme got knocked down by McCammon. Backhander by Atchison, scores!
Play for that long in your own zone without something bad happening, and here's the Oilers. They just can't get it out. Look at the coverage in front. There's Blair Atchison, and it's off a body up and over Tommy Salo. Atchison just chips it on the backhand. Here's the pass out in front. Brannick has it slip through his legs, and you can see Christian Laflamme. It goes off his leg up and over Tommy Salo. Here's Laflamme, and look at the shot by Atchison. It's Laflamme, it's Salo, and then in it goes.
Well, Blair Atchison now has a goal in 2 straight games and has the Hawks within 2. They were down by 4 early in the second period.
The reason Blair Atchison was signed by the Blackhawks was because he played for Coach Lauren Mulliken in his junior days and was a prolific scorer in that part of his career.
Hammond and Jansen's with the assist. Chad Kilger trying to go all the way. He gets stepped by Brian McCabe, who leads the Hawks in hits. Koge behind the net. Up the boards for Daze. Where the Hawks get the next one, John. This game is not over. Niedemann to Devereaux. Here's Kevin Lowe reminding his team of that. Still 7 minutes to go in the second period.
All the things they were doing right in the first period. Forechecking, the body checking. Not doing it here in the second.
Nylander turns away from Bill Guerin, gets inside the line, hits McCabe, slap shot. That's kicked away by Salo. McCabe steals it behind the net, and here come the Hawks again. Pass off the stick of Niedemann. Roy Devereaux off the boards to the line, kept in by Koze. Now Waite knocks it to the Hawk line. Sullivan for Daze gets grabbed by Niedemann, and the Oilers better be careful because you know who the next penalty is coming to in all likelihood. And there we go. Tripping will be the call.
Right now, get a 28-point winter checkup, oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a bonus emergency road kit. All for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
Alex Sullivanov goes off for tripping Steve Sullivan, and you called that, Bruce, 5 seconds before it happened. But after 2 power play goals for the Oilers, you knew that it was going to happen. There's Sullivanov on Steve Sullivan. The right leg goes out, and the call is made by Dave Jackson.
So a key part of this hockey game right here with Kevin Lowe's team up by 2, but they were up by 4. And the Hawks can draw to within 1. If they can put one in here. 6:23 left in the second period. Hawks 0-1 on the power play, and the Oilers did a great job pulling out the first one. Here's Mironov. To Marha, side of the net. Gilmore in behind the net, gives it to Amani. To Mironov, slap shot, Salo to save. And a good one it was with Doug Gilmore standing right there.
Christian Laflamme did a good job on Marha, getting him out of the shooting lane and letting his goaltender see that one. Here's the power play set up, and watch Laflamme on Marha in front of the net. Here it comes back, and look at Laflamme. He comes across, takes Marha, and makes sure that he doesn't get near the front. Laflamme, get out of the way, lets the goaltender see it. There he is. And Salo's right at the top of the crease and hangs on.
Mironov, the career high 38 assists and 49 points last season, had 11 goals, 5 of them on the power play. His first game of the 99-2000 season. Laflamme trying to slap it out, and he does. Eriksson to Mironov at center. Oilers with a couple of short-handed goals on the ears. Laflamme to Mike Greer shooting, and a stick save there by Passmore. The Hawks goalie has not been too busy since the early moments of the second period. Gilmore to Sullivan. Back in front for Gilmore, can't get a stick on it. Amani to Eriksson. Out of Mironov at the right point, to Sullivan in the circle. Back at the line to Eriksson. Waits, now takes the shot, that's blocked, and Mike Greer sends it down the ice with 1:05 left in the minor penalty to Sullivan. Passmore around the boards for Mironov. He jams it out to center. Needham on it quickly. Now Needham has scrambled back to his defensive position, and McCabe takes over for the Hawks. To Mironov, 48 seconds in the power play. Marha at the line. Daze goes for the net. Now gives chase on the inboards with Needham, I guess, crashing in there. And Morrow sends the puck down the ice for the Oilers. Puck went right to Passmore.
Shots on goal are now 13-3 in the second period. It's been all Hawks.
At center for Daze, couldn't control the bouncing puck. Ryan Smith back to Jason Smith, and he slaps it down the ice. Passmore has to be careful with that one. 17 seconds left in the penalty. 4:38 in the second period. 5-3 Oilers. Nylander. Accident shot is blocked by Hammerlick. He whipped it off the boards to center. McCabe to Cote. Cote up to Nylander. Into the Oilers zone. Ryan Smith got to him, but the play was offside, and the penalty is over to Sullivanov. Doug Waite mixes it up with Nylander after the whistle, and they have words, but the linesmen get in there to separate them. Oilers lead by 2.
Closed captioning is provided by Alberta Career Computer Center. Make it happen. Go with us, the leader in Microsoft training. Call 488-1270.
It's a Canadian game.
On the off chance you needed one more reason to choose a Dodge Caravan, how about a lease rate of $268 a month or $318 a month for a Grand Caravan? But don't wait, because unlike some, these reasons won't be around forever. Canada's best-selling minivans, only at your neighborhood Alberta Chrysler Dodge Jeep retailer.
Edmonton's Airport Authority and their Fly Edmonton First campaign would like to remind you that tickets for the upcoming Oilers home games are available by calling 451-8000. Following this road trip, the Oilers have 5 full days off before hosting Detroit, the New York Islanders, and Chicago in a 5-day homestand. Fly Edmonton First reminds you to choose flights that go directly from Edmonton to hub cities with non-stop service.
Okay, Gene will be flying home tomorrow with the team. And the Hawks are set to go out on a 7-game road trip, which, as Gene pointed out, will include Skyreach Center in Edmonton. Here tonight, it's 5-3 with 4:10 to go in the second period. Oilers on top. Hammerlick flipping it in. Oilers scheduled to practice here in Chicago tomorrow before flying home, but I have a feeling, John, if they hang on to win, that Kevin Lowe may give them the day off.
Yes, that might be an optional, or Kevin might even feel sorry for the trainers and make it a no-go. As we look at Doug Weight, he has played well here again tonight, and people wonder about he hasn't scored any goals. Well, he's making plays like he has tonight. Especially on that first goal, what a play. Could have scored himself. Sullivanov was the beneficiary of Doug Waite's good play on that one.
This outburst will be a confidence builder for the entire squad. Christian LaFlamme slopping it in. 3:50 left in the second period. Ethan Morrow working along the boards against Mironov. In behind the goal for Todd Marchand. He's tied up by Erickson. Morrow in there digging for it. He goes down. Mironov around the boards. Hammerlick pitching for the Oilers. Side of the net, Todd Marchand hangs on to it. Now for LaFlamme. It comes to Greer in the circle. His shot blocked. And a penalty coming to the Blackhawks as Ethan Morrow was decked in front.
Hi, I'm Doug Weight. Consider the cost of impaired driving before you head out. The criminal record, suspended license, higher insurance premiums, and the toll it takes on your family. Drinking and driving just isn't worth it.
Ethan Morrow does a good job going to the front of the net, and Boris Mironov couldn't handle him, reached out, and hauls him down. Now watch Morrow as Todd Marchand's trying to come out. Here's Mironov right there. Throws Morrow down and takes the holding penalty. Here's Morrow coming out. Look at Boris Mironov. Reaches with the right hand, pulls him down and takes the penalty.
It has not been an auspicious debut for Boris Mironov here tonight for the Hawks.
Well, as you said, Bruce, you want to get back in so badly, and the adrenaline is going, and you feel like you're in great shape, and the old term game shape comes into play again, and Mironov a step behind.
Oilers perfect on the power play, as you saw there. Face-off left of Passmore. Oilers like to get another one here with the Hawks kind of coming on in the second period. Ryan Smith behind the goal. To Doug Weight in the corner. Sullivanov looking for number 4. He's on the power play. Nienema at the line, back to Weight along the boards. Smith cruising around the slot, drop pass to Nienema at the line from Weight. Back to Weight. And Nienema. Oilers have really passed the puck around nicely on the power play tonight. Sullivanov behind the goal for Ryan Smith. He took a high stick from Cote, and the Hawks will be 2 men short this time around. Now for what's coming up in our second intermission, here's Gene.
Thank you very much, Bruce. We will talk to former Hawk and current Edmonton Oiler Ethan Moreau. We'll have an A-Channel News Active. We'll check in with the CFL playoffs and more specifically highlights between the Edmonton Eskimos and Calgary Stampeders. And we will have another installment of Dirt Devils Power Players, all coming up in the second intermission.
Okay, Gene, I think Ethan Morrow will be in a good mood. Sylvain Cote is not. He goes for high sticking.
A good play by Ryan Smith. Good hustle to get in behind the net. Cote didn't hear him coming and gets the stick up. He sees him at the last second, and you can see his stick goes off Ryan's stick right up under the chin, and Don Koharski there to make the call.
2-man advantage for the Oilers, and a long one with 1:27 still to go in the penalty to Mironov. And not only that, Lauren Mulligan's lost 2 of his best defensemen in Mironov and Cote to kill these penalties.
Well, Brian McCabe has been the defenseman who has played the most for the Chicago Blackhawks, but you're right, Bruce. Cote is the next most used defenseman by Lauren Mulligan, and now Dave Manson has to be out there 5-on-3.
Face-off left of Passmore. 2-man advantage for the Oilers. Guerin back at the point with Nienema. Wade Hammerlick and Sullivanov up front. Nienema right point. 2-man advantage for the Oilers to Wade. Wade's moving up to Nienema. Side of the net for Sullivanov. Hawks playing the triangle. Wade just inside the line. High in the slot, shooting. That was wide of the net. Now Wade gets it in the corner. Back to Yanni Nienema. To Waite. Into the circle. Side of the net for Sullivanov. Back to Waite. To Garrett. Not about shooting it. Now he'll hang on. Oilers being very patient. Now to Waite. To Niederman. Chris crosses. Takes the slap shot. Passmore down to make the save. And Sullivanov was right there trying to step it through his pads. So the Oilers have scored a couple of power play goals tonight, and Dynamic Mutual Funds will make a charitable donation to the Oilers Eskimos Carnival Charity Foundation.
Alex Sullivanov goes to the net for the rebound. Here's Yanni Niederman's shot. There's Sullivanov. And you can see Steve Passmore doesn't have it in his glove, and that's why Sullivanov takes the little poke. Here's the shot, and it's off Passmore's pad, and then he covers it up. And you can see Sullivanov looking around for the puck. Passmore didn't like it.
Took a swing at him with that big goal stick. John Garrett used to do that once in a while when he played.
Always try and hit the guy's ankles. Least protected part.
Face-off left of Passmore. 45 seconds left in the two-man advantage. Waite chips it back to Niederman. Over to Bill Guerin. Back to Niederman. Again, he switches with Waite. Waite to Guerin. The slap shot off the stick of Manson wide. In behind the goal, it's Hammerlich. To Guerin along the board, so Waite, he fakes the shot. Waite shooting, tipped over top of the net by Hammerlich. Niederman. Mara to the puck, he couldn't clear it for the Hawks. 15 seconds in the two-man advantage. Chicago has it. The Oilers tried to move it to the point, but it went between the 2-point net.
Well, there was a good scoring chance. Doug Waite taking a shot from the point. Roman Hammerlich was the guy trying to tip in, and he tipped it up and over the net.
Penalty is over to Mironov, and 30 seconds left in the minor to Sylvain Cote. Hammerlich's pass came outside the line. 1:20 in the period. It's 5-3 Oilers. And a wild one at the United Center tonight. Bill Guerin out to center. Behind the back pass to Waite into the Chicago zone. Waite into the corner. Sullivanov to Guerin. At the line to Niederman. To Hammerlich. Back to Niederman. Now to Hammerlich into the circle to Doug Waite. Penalty over. Pass at the line for Niederman. Here's Sylvain Cote. Hammerlich tired trying to catch him. Cote from a bad angle. And Salo made the save. And the Oilers pounded down the ice. So the Oilers come up empty on that two-man advantage. Great hustle here by Ryan Smith to avoid an icing call. Then he gets tackled in the corner by Dave Manson. Drop pass, shot, shooting. That's blocked by McCabe, and the puck goes rocketing into the seats with 31.3 seconds left in this second period. Ryan Smith has worked his tail off tonight for the Oilers.
Especially in the last minute of play, you don't want that face-off in your own zone. And look at Ryan Smith go after this puck. Dave Manson has the angle, but Smith has the speed, gets to it first, uses his reach, and negates the icing. There's Ryan Smith, touches the puck first. Linesman Lonnie Cameron right there to make the call. Ryan Smith is one of those old-time younger players who just loves the game. After all the other regulars are off the ice, he's out there shooting pucks and playing with the backup goaltenders and anybody else who will stay on the ice and shoot pucks with him.
You're right, and it really hasn't shown on the stat sheet. He's probably, John, been the Oilers' most consistent forward all season. Working very hard in the stats will come as they have tonight. Morrow into the corner for Mike Greer. 23 seconds in the period. Marchand behind the net. On the backhand for Greer. Tried to one time it. Brown shooting. That's gloved by Passmore, and he'll hold it.
And a good shift by the Marchand line as they control the board. Have a chance. That puck just jumped over Mike Greer's stick. But keep the puck in the Hawk zone and make sure that the momentum doesn't turn against them before the buzzer here at the end of the second period.
Todd Marchand has a goal tonight for the Oilers. Face off right at Passmore. Cameron set to drop it. Hawks win the draw. Todd Marchand, the Oilers' leading face-off man. Gilmore out at center. Tony Amani flips it in. That's gloved by Brown. Sullivan it back. left-hander, and a good save by Salo with only 3 seconds left in the period. And boy, that could have been a backbreaker for the Oilers, and they'll take a 2-goal lead to the third.
Sean Brown, instead of just batting this puck out, tried to catch it. And he missed it. Steve Sullivan gets by him, but again, Tommy Salo with a key save at a key time there. Sean Brown, you can see, tried to catch it and toss it. And Steve Sullivan with the chance and a good save by Salo. Watch Sean Brown. He tries to catch it and slide it, and instead he mishandles it. Sullivan with the quick backhand. Look at Salo. Out goes the left leg to make the save.
Tommy Salo with some big stops for the Oilers in that second period. The second intermission is brought to you by the Edmonton Sun. For large sports coverage, Sun Sports in the Edmonton Sun. Alex Solovyov has a hat trick already. It's the Oilers 5 and the Hawks 3 after 2.
Welcome to the most glorious moment in Mary Webb's life. Seems Mary had always dreamed of participating in the Ironman. So Mary gave us a call. We made the money work, and Mary, she did the rest. And if you look real close, you can see just how happy she is. Go get 'em, Mary. Introducing a new way of borrowing, the Scotia Total Equity Plan. Get what you want out of life.
You know the name, but do you know the company behind the name? For anyone who needs to get up in the air, SkyReach offers specialized boom lifts, sky tracks, and scissor lifts. We also offer mini excavators, skid steers, air compressors, light towers, and much, much more. Our championship team offers rental, purchase, or leasing options, as well as an on-site parts department, service center, and we deliver. SkyReach Equipment, lifting our customers to greater heights.
The revolutionary Braun Oral-B 3D. It's the only plaque remover designed to pulsate deep between teeth. It pulsates to loosen plaque and oscillates to sweep it away. It cleans deep, better than an ordinary toothbrush. The Braun Oral-B 3D. It pulsates deep to clean better. Right now, if you try any Braun Oral-B plaque remover, we guarantee a definite improvement in your oral health or your money back.
Tonight.
What kind of shoes will you be wearing when your day comes?
The problem with being number one is
I studied everything you ever did.
no one
I'm going to tear your heart out.
likes being number two.
Stole my contract.
Sylvester Stallone, Antonio Banderas, Assassin, tonight at 9 on A Channel. Anaconda, an A Channel movie premiere tomorrow at 8.
Edmonton has been outshot 20-15, but 1 out of every 3 Oilers shots has found the net as Edmonton leads Chicago 5-3 after 40 minutes of play. And we're now joined by Edmonton Oilers' Ethan Moreau. Wow, what a second period. What are your thoughts on it?
I think they, they generated a lot of chances. Fortunately we got more goals, but it's been a pretty exciting game, and I think we're going to look for a little bit better effort in the third to maintain our 2-goal lead.
It seemed like 2 periods in one. Can you feel the momentum shift when that starts to happen?
Yeah, we came out good and we got a few goals. We're up 5-1. You talk about staying up and going for more, but it's it's common maybe to have a little bit of a letdown, and we let them back in a little bit. So hopefully we can come out in the third maybe and get another couple, and then it'd be even harder for them to come back.
In the first period, I asked Boris Mironov about playing his old team. Now in the second, I ask you about playing your old team, the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, there's not too many guys left over there that I've played with, but there's some familiar faces over there, and it's it's fun to play against them, to compete against them. There's some great players over there. It's just fun to play against them.
We always talk about a player having a role. Have you been able to define a role on this team, and has that been an advantage for you as an Oiler?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think they they expect certain things out of me, and they're the exact same things that I expect out of me. So I think we have a good understanding of what type of player I am and what I have to do to be successful. So it's been a pretty good fit.
Talk to us. Chris Pronger, for example, would know how you hit. Dean McCammon knows how you hit this evening. What is your approach when you are trying to be physical?
I just try to keep my feet going and you know, just generate a little bit of power with my legs and just try to run into people. It's not really there's not really a big science to it. You know, you just try to play physical and you know, just try to skate hard and finish my checks, and you know, once in a while you're going to get a big hit.
Well, thanks, Ethan, and best of luck in the third period.
Thanks a lot.
Ethan Moreau of the Edmonton Oilers, he's in a hurry to get ready for that third period of action. Up next, another installment of Dirt Devils Power Players in an A-Channel News Active.
It's time to take an all-star break. The National Hockey League and McDonald's want you to choose your favorite players for the NHL All-Star Game. It's a battle for global domination as North America takes on the world in the 50th NHL All-Star Game in Toronto on Sunday, February 6th. Pick up your McDonald's official NHL All-Star ballot at the arena or vote online at NHL.com. You could win a 2000 Dodge Dakota Quad Cab and other great prizes. Winners will be announced during the NHL All-Star Game, so vote now.
It was a night hockey fans will never forget. Wayne came home, and number 99 went up. Relive the moment with never-before-seen footage. Check out the Great One's NHL stats and much more. Share his memories of this very special event in an exclusive interview.
It was only fitting that my career would end where it all began, which was Edmonton.
Call 1-877-WAYNE-99 to order this limited edition collectible CD-ROM for just $19.99. Order now while quantities last.
You could get up to $10,000 on a second mortgage for as little as $110 a month with Capital Direct.
I used to work with the banks, but I can help so many more people now that I'm working with Capital Direct.
Capital Direct, Alberta's lending solution.
It's the way a good steak sandwich tastes like it came from a steakhouse. Introducing the HP Steak and Cheese Sandwich at Subway. Made for you, just the way you want it. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Monday. A giant killer anaconda is crushing the life out of a hapless documentary crew in beautiful Brazil and making movie/pop star Jennifer Lopez scream and squirm. If this doesn't take your breath away, John Voight's demonic snake poacher, who sounds a lot like Marlon Brando on Prozac.
What do you say?
Mike, he's capable of strangling anyone who gets in his way with his knees. Anaconda, an A-Channel movie premiere Monday at 8.
Good evening. Hope you're enjoying the game. I'm Krista Platzer. Some of the stories we'll have for you coming up on A-Channel News at night. A house fire in Mill Woods this morning. 6 people were at home at the time of the blaze. Luckily, no one was hurt, but damages are estimated at $75,000. We'll have the details. They're packing up and rolling out of town for another year. Just how successful was the Canadian Finals Rodeo? A-Channel's Molly Finley brings us the story. Plus, the city is set to unveil the 2000 budget, and it's expected to be a tough one. Doctors and nurses went out on a limb at University Hospital. It was a very special day. We'll explain. Sunny Sadu tells us what's up in entertainment. In sports, do or die for the Fs, and Lennox Lewis, the world heavyweight champ. Adam Cook has all the day's sports action. We're on late tonight at 11:40. Hope you can join us then and enjoy the rest of the game.
It was a night hockey fans will never forget. Wayne came home, and number 99 went up. Relive the moment with never-before-seen footage. Check out the Great One's NHL stats and much more. Share his memories of this very special event in an exclusive interview.
It was only fitting that my career would end where it all began, which was Edmonton.
Call 1-877-WAYNE-99 to order this limited edition collectible CD-ROM for just $19.99. Order now while quantities last.
Hail Caesar! Hi, I'm Bobby Curtola for Caesar Tomato Clam Cocktail. Caesar tastes great on its own, delicious. Or as a mixer, regular or spicy. Available at fine grocers, restaurants, lounges, and clubs everywhere. Caesar Tomato Clam Cocktail, try it today.
Beam, the smart machine.
Never lug a vacuum again. Get a Beam Central Cleaning Vacuum System. All of it installed for just $6.98. And don't pay for 6 months. Call Jiffy Vacuum, North Side or South Side today.
At any time, in any place, Sonny, Nikki, Brad, the movies in you.
Gentlemen, is that acceptable?
More fun.
And with all our winners, group hugs, everybody. Aw, give me the love. Just because it is Congo, a banana. Oh, no! Watch A-Channel News to find out we're going to be in your neighborhood next.
more coffee, more laughs, more friends.
At work, Chandler's a barrel of laughs. Next, friends.
At 7:30, get more advice from Fraser Crane.
It's the show of the year, but will Niles get to go?
I have to have people see me see this play. If I've not seen this play, you'll see.
On Fraser.
More comedy on A Channel tomorrow night starting at 7.
Power You Can See, brought to you by Dirt Devil. Introducing the new Easy Steamer, the carpet shampooer that's powerful enough to clean the whole house, yet convenient enough for everyday spills. Up next, the most elegant yet powerful center of all time. More after this.
The Dirt Devil Vision. You've never seen power like this before. The Vision is lightweight, with swivel casters so it turns on a dime, and easily picks up dirt other vacuums can leave behind. For power you can see, get a Vision. The latest in Dirt Devil's Swivel Glide family. Nothing escapes the power of a Dirt Devil.
He is perhaps hockey's greatest ambassador. Jean Beliveau is also perhaps the most successful player hockey has ever produced. His incredible talent level was such that as a junior, the Canadians bought an entire league just to obtain his rights. When he got to the NHL, this majestic artisan sculpted a career second to none. 20 seasons feature the following brilliance: 10 All-Star selections, 2 Hart trophies, the scoring title in 1956, the inaugural Conn Smythe Trophy in 1965, and above all, 10 Stanley Cup rings. Jean Beliveau, just the name alone, garners thoughts of the consummate pro, one that had the respect of virtually everyone in a sport he has graced for most of his life. Another power player brought to you by Dirt Devil. Makers of the Easy Steamer, the lightest upright carpet shampooer you can buy.
At this point, it's the Edmonton Oilers who are the kings of the castle as they still lead by 2 after 2 periods of play against the Chicago Blackhawks. From the NHL, we go to the CFL. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are on their way to take on Montreal for a second straight year in the Eastern Final. After their win over the Toronto Argonauts, not such good news for the Edmonton Eskimos as they are defeated by the Calgary Stampeders. Final score 30-17. With highlights from McMahon Stadium, here is Adam Cook.
Dickinson in the shotgun. Down deep again. It's Pitts. He's got it.
The Stamps were on the move early. Their first drive involved 4 plays for 71 yards. Alan Pitts gets them in the red zone. Next play, Kelvin Anderson gets them in the end zone. He dives in from 1 yard out to provide the first blow for Calgary. 7-zip Stamps. Nealon Green back in the pocket, and he had trouble getting things going on offense. Here he is picked off by Darryl Hall, one of 3 interceptions on Green today. Still in the first. And a former Eskimo does some damage. Marcus Dowdell gets wide open and has a clear path to the end zone. A 51-yard touchdown strike to make it 14-zip. Stamps continue to roll. 14-3 when Dave Dickinson hits Anderson in the open field. He puts his head down and plows his way in for 6. 21-3 Calgary. No response from Edmonton until the third quarter. Green hits a horizontal Ricky Walters for a great touchdown catch. That made it 21-10. Later, Mark McLaughlin boots his second of 3 field goals on the day for Calgary to make it 27-10. Now, the Eskimos tried to mount a comeback, but to no avail. This touchdown catch by Donnie Ashley came with 2 seconds left. The Eskimos go down 30-17 in the Western semifinal and are out of the playoffs. Calgary moves on to face BC in the Western final next week. I'm Adam Cook, 8 Channel Sports.
Thank you, Adam. One other NHL game to tell you about. Phoenix has lost 3 of their last 4. They may be headed in that direction again. Craig Johnson has his second goal of the season. LA up on the Coyotes 2-0 after 2 periods of play. And the coaches may not have loved it, but the fans sure did. Edmonton and Chicago with an offensive explosion in that second period. Both teams with a pair of goals. It is 5-3 Edmonton after 2 periods. The second intermission was brought to you by the Edmonton Sun. For large sports coverage, Sun Sports in the Edmonton Sun. Third period action is next.
If you can't find great hockey on TV, don't blame me. I was given a gift to play hockey well, to play with skill within the rules. And when I know there's a bunch of games on and I can't get them on cable, I get so mad that it hurts me. Like a stick in the guts or a glove in the face.
Do you live in the past? Are you content with the present? Or does the future really turn you on? The future is ready. Roundup ready. Ready with more varieties than ever before. Ready with the best control. Ready with the simplest system. Ready with the biggest yields. Ready with the best net returns. The future is ready right now. Roundup ready.
Tonight at 9, Antonio Banderas stars in Assassins on A Channel.
Bruce Buchanan, John Garrett back at the United Center in Chicago. It's the Oilers 5 and the Hawks 3. Oilers trying to win their first of the year on the road and in good position, John.
They'd love to play a nice calm period, and especially this first shift, get off to the start where the puck is in the Chicago zone and you're forcing the play.
Right off the face-off, as we look at Alex Sullivanov, who has 3 on the night. Ethan Morrow roughed up Steve Sullivan, and Sullivan slashed at him for 5 seconds into this third period. Alex Sullivanov continues to put the puck in the net for the Oilers.
In Toronto, Steve Sullivan was known as the Timmins Tornado, the way he was always hustling around the ice, using his stick, and not producing the kind of offensive numbers that I think people thought he would coming out of junior. A great junior scorer.
Todd Marchand in across the line, fakes the shot. He got poke-checked on the play, and the Hawks turn it back. Tony Amati. And on the right side, Sullivan heads for the net. There's the pass, knocked down in front by Jason Smith. Heads into the corner, streaks it up the boards. Amati turns and shoots. That's off Smith's stick. And the Oilers dump at the center. 2 eyebrows raised from the Leafs, but Steve Sullivan on waivers, but of course they signed Dmitry Kristich to take his spot in the Leafs lineup. Puck flipped to center by Nienema. Mike Greer after it. He's checked in front by Erickson. Boris Mironov, who took 3 penalties in the second period, moves the puck around the boards for Daze. He got bumped by Devereaux. George Rock played about 3 shifts. Tom Cody played just a couple of minutes in the second period. He's been bothered by a sore foot and was questionable going into tonight's game against the Hawks. In front, good save by Passmore off Chad Kilgore.
Nice pass in front to Chad Kilgore, and Steve Passmore takes this one off his mask. Bill Guerin the backhand to Kilgore, and you can see Passmore takes it off the bottom part of his face mask and keeps it out. And you can see Steve Passmore's record with the Oilers last season and with Hamilton, and that's one of the reasons the Hawks liked him, was all those games he played in Hamilton. Very consistent goaltender. Has not had luck on his side tonight, but did in his last game Friday.
Boy, wouldn't Chad Kilgore have loved to get one? Looking for his first goal. He rattled one off the mask. Now Garrett playing at the point, tried to shoot it on goal. That hit a stick. Here's Devereaux turning and shooting. Passmore the save, big rebound, went to center.
And that's one of the weaknesses in Steve Passmore's game, is that rebound. And we saw on Todd Marchand's goal, and there was another one that should have been steered to the corner, right back out in front.
Dean McCammon, no look back to Action, and Action moves in, slap shot, and a good save there by Tommy Salo. Now McCammon tried to tip it on goal. Hawks with a couple of chances. McCammon, a good skater, after it in the corner against Hammerlech. He goes down. Jansen's looking for it. McCammon got back up, gave it to Action. He's pushed off the puck by Jason Smith. Hammerlech, puck came right in front, and Smith on it for the Oilers. 2 minutes into the third, 2-goal lead for the Oilers. Smith on the rush. But Chad Kilgore could not hold up, and the Oilers are offside.
Chad Kilger, I would say, has played his best game in about 3 weeks playing with Bill Guerin. They seem to work fairly well together. Kilger with a couple of scoring chances, and I'm sure the Oilers would like to see Kilger get in a groove, and I think that's something, a young player, you have to find somebody that you're compatible with. Seems to know where you're going to be. Kilger and Guerin so far tonight seem to have a little magic. There's Ted Green explaining some things to Chad Kilger. And defensively, in your own zone, Kilger came back very deep that time, but didn't have a man. He was able to get it out of the zone.
Just notice Christian Laflamme headed off to the Oilers dressing room, so with Cody banged up, the Oilers appear to be down to 4 defensemen at the start of this third period. Anders Eriksson for the Hawks. So LaRue couldn't shoot it in on Yanni Niedema, who's had a strong game for the Oilers. With a goal and an assist. Penalty coming to the Oilers. Daze in on the right side, working on Sean Brown. Pass into the slot. LaRue's backhander, high and wide. Golovanov touching the puck just barely, and the Oilers will be shorthanded. Yanni Niedema goes off for holding the stick in the neutral zone, and he's shaking his head. That's one of those that hasn't been called up till now, Bruce. And here we get to the third period, and it's called early. Well, the Hawks on a power play. Cote in on the right side. Goes in behind the net. Sullivan. Behind the goal for Doug Gilmour. Amani at the point. Back for Gilmour in the corner. Sullivan. McCabe back to Sullivan. Cross ice to Cote. Shoots it from a bad angle. Off Salo to the line. McCabe to Sullivan. Goes for the net. Salo down. Trying to get back. And he made the save. Diving across. Hammerlick to Mike Greer. Puck bouncing over the stick of Cote at the Oiler line. Doug Gilmour with an assist tonight for the Hawks. Long shot by McCabe off the arm of Salo. McCabe gets it back. Shooting kick. Rolls just wide of the net. Sullivan comes out the other side. And Floyd Devereaux rolls the puck down the ice.
This Hawk power play looks much better, and the center of attention is Steve Sullivan, handling the puck very well.
Now it's Daze on the attack. Into the side of the net, and it's pounded down the ice by Hammerlick with 35 seconds. Up to the penalty to Niedema. 4 minutes into the third. Oilers 5, Hawks 3. Michael Nylander. Eriksson bumped off the puck by Waite, but he failed to clear it. Gets a second chance and does. Eriksson forced in his own zone by Ryan Smith. Mironov to Eriksson behind the goal. Back to Mironov. Pass way behind Daze. Mara just lets it go, and they'll call the offside on the Hawks with 7 seconds left in the Chicago power play.
Tommy Salo, a couple of good saves on that Hawk power play. That faceoff will come all the way back into the Chicago zone on the offside. Now here's the shot from Brian McCabe. It's tipped, and you can see there's Steve Sullivan at the side of the net, and he's stopped by Tommy Salo. It comes up and over. Now here's the wraparound try from Sullivan, and look at Roman Hammerlick. He's out in front, and he's able to clear it.
Easy to overlook the goaltender in a game like this, John, but Tommy Salo has faced 26 Chicago shots. He's got the Oilers in this 2-goal lead, no question.
Well, and just when it looked like the Hawks were gaining the upper hand, that's when Salo has made his best saves of the night.
And he made a big one with 3 seconds to go in the second period. Oilers back at full strength. Baranek just inside the line. The rack on this line with Baranek and Devereaux. Ian McCammon shoots it in off the corner boards for Bob Probert. He overskates it. Devereaux off the boards and down the ice. Icing waved off. Nansen back to retrieve it for the Hawks. 5 minutes into the third. Oilers 5, Hawks 3. Ethan Morrow backhands it to the line. George Barat trying to hop around Dave Manson. Took the forearm smash. Bullet stopped behind the net. And a penalty coming to the Oilers. Interference will be the call. Goaltender interference. And the Hawks go right back to the power play.
This is Joseph Baranek is now. There's Baranek, goes through the crease and just touches Steve Passmore, and the Oiler bench is not going to like this one. There's Baranek to the penalty box. Now here's Steve Sullivan goes wraparound. Now look at Roman Hamrlik read that play, and it's Hamrlik that gets his stick there before Tommy Salo comes across, and that's a good read by the veteran defenseman Roman Hamrlik. You see a guy behind the net, you're killing the penalty. Don't chase him, just be patient. The puck will come to you.
Well, kind of a weak call on Baranek, but the Hawks will certainly take it. Hawks go right back to the power play. Goaltender interference. Baranek, who hasn't played a whole lot tonight for the Oilers. Govan Cote overskates the puck at center. Nienema has it. And backhands it down the ice. Ryan McCabe on the rush. Tried to shoot it in and went off Nienema right to Tony Amonte. Amonte moves it back to McCabe. Over to Cote, slap shot. Salo picks that out. Gilmore to the side of the net, in behind the goal. It's Amonte to Gilmore in the corner. Beats Cote at the point. He's Sullivan, forced to the line by Hamrlik. Gilmore waiting behind the net. Gilmore trying to come in front, puts it in front. Todd Marchand read that and backhands it down the ice. Doug Gilmore with 1,242 career points. And with one assist tonight, here's Cote to center. His pass picked off and slipped in by Ethan Morrow. 53 seconds left in the power play. Devereaux went crashing in there. Now it's Erickson to center for the Hawks. Into the Oilers zone. Gives it to Daze, moving in on the backhand. Daze back to Mironov. Marhoff back to Mironov along the board. At the line to Erickson. Slap shot goes wide. Nylander has it. Back by John Brown. 25 seconds in the man advantage. Nylander shooting. That missed the far corner, and the puck comes off the boards and out.
Problem on the power play, and you miss long side. You see your defenseman pinch in, you better make sure that that shot goes short side if you're going to miss the net.
8 seconds in the power play, and the Hawks come to center. It's Daze. In across the line, tried to drop it, but it's hooked out by Ryan Smith. The Oilers kill off 2 straight Hawk power plays in this third period. Nienema's pass off a skate. Nylander in his own zone, back to Erickson in front of the net. Nienema keeps it in at the line, at least momentarily. Now Waite steals it to Selivanov, scores! Alex Selivanov with his 4th of the night.
And what a play by Doug Waite. Yanni Nienema at the blue line keeps this puck in. And the key players for the Oilers all involved in this goal. And you talk about power plays being momentum killers. The Oilers penalty killers doing the job. Here's Yanni Nienema. Look at him. Keeps the puck on side. And that starts this play. Doug Waite. And look at Alex Selivanov get in position to shoot this puck. Get on the forehand. Get that stick down. Now here's Waite to Selivanov. And look at Selivanov get in position to shoot. He's right there, and no chance for Steve Passmore. Selivanov high and hard.
And what a night for Alex Selivanov. You see Oilers massage therapist Stuart Poirier talking to him.
Keep those hands hot. Yeah. Wrap them up.
Yeah, no kid. And that's a huge goal for the Oilers, John, because the Hawks had been coming on. They kill off 2 penalties to start the third, and then Selivanov restores a 3-goal lead.
Well, that's what Kevin Lowe was talking about before this road trip, and how your power play can be a momentum builder or a momentum killer. And the Oilers' power play tonight, their first 2 chances they scored, and then their penalty kill, the last 2 against the Hawks. They've been perfect tonight again and changed the momentum.
6-3 Oilers with 12:22 left. In the third, John Brown behind the net. Off the glass. Kept in by Smolik. Puck in the slot and scooped out by Sean Brown. Puck lays down for Bill Guerin. Tried to drop it. Now Guerin tied up his man in the corner. Devereaux has it. Devereaux into the corner. Smolik comes over. Around the boards for Sullivan. Played the puck out. Sean Brown got hauled down, but the referee didn't buy that one. Devereaux to center. Tried to take the long shot. Nearly jammed on it. Then Kilger banged it just wide. Kilger from behind the net. Puts it in front. Tony Amati. Down to J.P. Dumont. He couldn't handle it. And it's Hammerlick at his own line. Hard pass off Devereaux. He just puts it into the Hawk zone. Pass failed to click for Dumont, but action him to it first, so no icing. Hammerlick in the corner. Oilers down to 4 defensemen. Cody not playing. The Flam's gone to the dressing room. Salo makes a save on a long shot, and the puck comes out to center. Cote over to McCabe. For the Hawks, who flanked the Islanders 5-0 on Friday, had given up 6 to the Oilers tonight. To the line, Hammerlick teeing one up. That goes high and wide. Mike Greer finishing a check on Cote. Hammerlick to Niedema. Back to Hammerlick in his own zone. 9 minutes into the third. Dangerous pass there by Hammerlick, and Niedema just cleared it out. Paul Comrie. To Joseph Baranek. In on the right side, gets pulled down by Dean McCammon. The net jarred loose as Comrie went at Mironov, who's dropped his glove. And as after the Oilers rookie, the original call was coming to the Blackhawks. And Paul Comrie, who hasn't played a whole lot tonight, has managed to get under the skin of Boris Mironov.
Well, a little frustration. The original penalty was on Dean McCammon, who just reached out and tugged on the sweater of Joseph Baranek. And then Mironov and Comrie. Here's the original penalty. There's McCammon, grabs the sweater, hauls down Baranek, takes the holding penalty.
We always knew our son would make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
We just wish he would have taken us.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. It must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583.
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul.
With a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the Snowman was a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know that he came to life one day.
For great gifts and more, come to the Telestore.
The Cavalier Coupe now comes with a CD stereo, upgraded wheels, and a new 5-speed Getrag transmission.
Excuse me. You dropped your earrings. Hey! Hi!
The Chevrolet Cavalier Coupe 2000 package for 1.9% purchase financing or $188 a month and more features than ever.
Well, they're trying to sort out the penalties, and while they do, we have another winner in our Safeway Club Score and Win contest. Thanks to Alex Sullivanov's 4th of the night. Debbie Pickett of Fort McMurray entered at Safeway by swiping a club card. As a result, Debbie has won a 20-piece set of Macassa stoneware from Bowring.
This is a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be, Bruce. I thought Dean McCammon would get the holding penalty, and there'd be coincidental minors on the other two, Paul Comrie and Boris Mironov. But it looks like it's going to be a wash.
Kevin Lowe looks as confused as we are.
And will we get an explanation from anyone? That's what Kevin's saying. Okay, what's going on here?
I think maybe what happened is the original call was going to the Hawks, and then Comrie went crashing into the net on Mironov, and then the two of them mixed it up, so maybe it is a wash. Nothing going up on the board as far as to indicate a power play anyway.
Lauren Mulliken can't figure it out yet either.
I'm going to say maybe our friend Mr. Sullivanov will win free groceries from Safeway, the way he's been scoring goals tonight and providing winners in the Safeway Club Score and Win contest.
2 minutes for cross-checking and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Blackhawk penalty number 2 for Smirnoff.
Well, they're announcing the penalties, and it is a wash.
Blackhawk penalty number 55, Eric Daze, 2 minutes for holding on
No power plays. The original call to Daze, and then Comrie took a couple of minors, and Mironov won. So they will play 5-on-5 midway through this third period. Oilers 6 and the Hawks 3. John Brown with the puck.
Eric Daze, in case of mistaken identity, it was Dean McCammon who hauled down Joseph Duranic, but after it's all said and done, Daze is the one who ends up in the penalty box.
Hard to mix those two up. Daze, one of the tallest players in the league, as the puck is shot down, and the Oilers called for icing. We're halfway through this third period, and the Oilers have a 3-goal lead at the United Center.
Introducing a line of credit that can make it easier to renovate your home, take a family vacation, or even send your child to university, because you can carry it in here. Introducing Scotia Line Visa, new from Scotiabank. The line of credit with the convenience of a Visa card and the savings of a line of credit. Call now to get your Scotia Line Visa, new from Scotiabank.
The revolutionary Braun Oral-B 3D. It's the only plaque remover designed to pulsate deep between teeth. It pulsates to loosen plaque and oscillates to sweep it away. It cleans deep, better than an ordinary toothbrush. The Braun Oral-B 3D. It pulsates deep to clean better. Right now, if you try any Braun Oral-B plaque remover, we guarantee a definite improvement in your oral health or your money back.
Okay, where were we?
Peanut butter.
All right then, from the top.
Butter, jam, sandwiches, pancakes, and ham. Red radishes, heaven knows. Anything goes. Homogenized skim wine and 2%.
Excuse me, what do you mean homogenized?
Alberta's milk producers make a glass that's right for everyone. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Heaven knows, anything goes.
An unforgettable night to get a hat trick. 4 goals is great, but look at this. 5 goals. Wayne Gretzky 4 times. Gary Curry, you'd figure him once in a while, but how about Pat Hughes?
Yeah, I did that game. Remember, clear as day, the Oilers had a couple of their star players out, and Pat Hughes steps to the forefront and scores 5 in a game against the Flames. Sullivanov with 4 tonight against the Hawks, and the Oilers have a 6-3 lead, 9:40 to go in the third period. Doug Wade steers it into the Chicago zone. Ryan Smith gets ripped into the end boards by Sylvain Cote. Puck in the corner, a body up the board for McCabe. Wade behind the net for Smith as these guys look for some more points. Sullivanov behind the goal. At the line for Hammerlich, you can't keep it in. Puck got caught up in the skates. The linesman squeezed on. Sullivanov at center. And Chad Kilger. Kilger trying to go right in there. Got a backhander away. Rebound off Passmore, and Ryan Smith couldn't get to it. Chad Kilger's had a strong game tonight for the Oilers.
There was a lucky save by Steve Passmore. Got it off the end of his stick, and a good move by Chad Kilger wide, using his reach.
He backhands it in, but Hammerlich was there. Or Boyd Devereaux. The Oilers defense will need 4 days off or 5 days off, John, with injuries to Christian LaFlamme, which we're not sure about. Long shot as Passmore looked behind him. Kilger took the shot, and Tom Pote's been used sparingly tonight.
Right now, get a 28-point winter checkup, oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a bonus emergency road kit. All for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
Kids, do you have any questions you'd like to ask your favorite Oilers player? All you have to do is visit Reds anytime this season. Find the Oilers wall and drop your question in the entry box. Your question could be answered by one of the players on the next Oilers radio broadcast.
Well, a young Hawks fan, still enjoying herself. Face-off right of Passmore, 8:36 to go. Kristen LaFlamme with a Charlie horse. Tom Pody with a sore foot. We'll have a chance to field them up in the next 5 days. Oilers next game Saturday night at home against Detroit. After a long 5-game road trip. Hawks LaRue to Dumont. Takes the long shot. Salo no problem with that, and he'll hold on at the side of the net.
Tommy Salo doesn't want to take any chances. There's the long shot in, and watch Salo, a bouncing puck this time of the game, the ice, which is pretty good here at the United Center. Starting to break down, and Salo making sure takes the face-off. The Oilers have been good on face-offs tonight. The only guy they're having trouble with is Doug Gilmour, and he's been a non-factor, I'd say, Bruce.
Oilers have been a much improved team in the face-off circle as we look at the updated stats. Leading the Hawks by 10 so far. This face-off will be to the left of Tommy Salo. I'm sure if you asked Kevin Lowe after the game would say kind of went unnoticed tonight, but he had a solid second period. Keep the Oilers on top. Here's Cote shooting. He blasted it wide. Nienema rolls it into the corner. Probert and Baranek go in there. Now Ethan Morrow. Scoops it on the right side for George Larac, who's had 2 fights tonight. One with Mark Jansen, the other with Probert. Morrow with the puck to the front of the net, but Baranek was tied up by Jansen. Hatchingham bangs it off the glass to center. Baranek back in his own zone to Nienema. Ethan Morrow. Looked into the line, gloved down by Jansen. Now Nienema at his own line for the Oilers with 7:20 to go. Over to Hammerlick. Nienema and Hammerlick used to lots of ice time for the Oilers. Not the same for John Brown.
Gordon Mulligan mixing his lines up here, trailing by 3. He has Probert, Jansen, and Amante out there, and that's an unusual combination.
Yes, it is, but you can bet Amonte's not playing with much fear. Here's Smith, the center. Aronoff in front of his own net. Hard pass at center for Doug Gilmour. Follow out to play it. John Brown scoops the puck to the Hawks line. Erickson in his own zone. Gurr into forecheck for the Oilers. Gilmour left it for Mironov. To Tony Amati. Off pass, but that was blocked by Jason Smith. And it's Erickson retreating in his own zone with Ryan Smith right on him. Pass picked off by Marchand. Dishes off to Nienema. Erickson again for Chicago. Ryan Smith took a run at him. And went down. Now Smith goes to the Oiler bench. Nienema in across the Hawks line. Tried to shoot it on goal. That went off Manson, and Passmore will pounce on it at the side of the net with nearly 14 minutes gone in the third.
It's life in the fast lane at McDonald's, where you can drive through for great food fast.
How appropriate. Bobby's in the building tonight.
Bobby's in the building.
Bobby's in the building. Brett recorded his 1,000th point, November 14th, 1998. And Bobby, one of the most prolific scorers the Blackhawks have ever had. His sweater hanging in the rafters. And it's hard to believe, Bruce, the number of Hull sweaters here in the stands. There's 14,000 people, but we look down in front of us, and I can see at least 4 Hull sweaters right in front of us.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Denny Savard sweaters as well. He's an assistant coach for the Hawks, joined by Trent Yanni on Lauren Mulligan's staff as Passmore forces a face-off to his right again. You're watching Molson Oilers hockey on A Channel.
To Closed captioning of this period is brought to you by Auto Village Discount Auto Parts. Best price, best service, period.
We always knew our son would make it into the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
We just wish he would have taken us.
The Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. You and 9 friends can get into the Molson Canadian Millennium Gala at the Hockey Hall of Fame, where you can win 2,000 tickets to your local team. Look at specially marked cases for the Molson Canadian Millennium Mega Ticket. Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary. Call 1-800-499-6583.
Cars need tune-ups. It's not an option. So we engineered a car that wouldn't need one for 166,000 kilometers. Malibu from Chevrolet. No scheduled tune-up for 166,000 kilometers. Think about it. Malibu did. People are forgetful. It's not an option. So why would battery rundown protection be? Malibu from Chevrolet. Engineered to protect your battery. Think about it. Malibu did.
Bruce, you and I get to pick the stars again tonight, and there's lots of stars for the Edmonton Oilers. The obvious one, Alex Selivanov, but you think Doug Weight, Yanni Niedema, Ryan Smith, Jason Smith has had a strong game with the injuries to the Oiler defense. Tommy Salo, some critical saves in the second period when it was 5-3 and the Hawks were all over the Oilers.
You know you've had a strong game when there's lots of candidates for the Molson 3 stars.
Chad Kilger, for his limited ice time, although he's had more ice time tonight, he's played well.
Believe me, there's games where it's a lot more difficult decision. Face off to the right of Passmore, 5:54 left in Chicago, 6-3 Oilers. Doug Gilmour flips the puck ahead for Sullivan. Niedema goes down in front of Tommy Salo, and Hammerlick backhanded to the line. Bullock long shot right in front of Gilmour, pitching for it. Salo down as they pile up in front, and now Salo out to have words with Steve Sullivan, who takes a punch from Doug Weight.
This is one thing that really drives me nuts about this new crease rule. When that referee sees the goaltender reach out and get his glove on the puck, he has to blow the whistle. He can't wait and watch the players digging away, trying to get at it, and then slide it into the net. Doug Weight didn't like the way Steve Sullivan was digging in Tommy Salo's glove, and Tommy Salo didn't like the way he was being treated, and that was all because the referee didn't blow the whistle quickly enough, pardon my grammar on that one, Bruce, but Don Kowarski was there, and Dave Jackson here. Now watch Tommy Salo reach out with his left hand right here. Out goes the left hand. He's got his hand on the puck. Okay, where's the whistle? And then they start to dig away at it. And in comes Doug Weight. He sees Steve Sullivan. Okay, out goes the left hand. He's got his glove on the puck. The whistle should go, but look it. There's no whistle, and the Hawks don't hear the whistle, so they start digging away.
Good point, John. Salo lucky didn't break his hand trying to hold that puck before the whistle did come from referee Don Kowarski. Doug Wait's saying to Kowarski, what's going on here?
Yeah, and Doug Weight still talking to Steve Sullivan, and now he wants to talk to Dave Jackson and Don Kowarski. It looks like Tommy Salo might get a penalty in this.
Well, Doug Weight, the Oiler captain, has been fired up tonight, and Tommy Salo is usually pretty mild-mannered in goal. Isn't too happy about Steve Sullivan jabbing away at him there.
It's always the little guys like Steve Sullivan that get under your skin because they don't back it up. They come in and create the turmoil like that. And Steve Sullivan weighs about 165 pounds.
Have a double minor on the board for the Oilers' Doug Weight for roughing.
One other NHL game to tell you about. This one is late in the third. Rob Blake, Craig Johnson, and Ziggy Palffy have scored for LA. Replying for Phoenix, Rick Tocchet and Greg Adams. These two teams will meet again in just a few days' time. So this might start a bit of a rivalry between these two teams.
Well, the Oilers, I think, John, are coming out of this with a 4-minute disadvantage.
Well, they've got Doug Weight with the double minor for roughing. He did take a shot at Steve Sullivan, but then Sullivan fought back.
That is a bad call. I'm sorry. Kevin Lowe is happy his team's up by 3.
And he's talking things over with Don Kuharski, and
maybe 2 minutes short at the most, John, but how can they come out of this down 4 minutes?
5:38 left, and you can see Kevin Excedrin headache number.
And it all leads back to what you said. If they blow the whistle, maybe there's no penalties whatsoever. And because they don't, Doug Waite gets a double minor.
And once you've made the call, okay, you don't have to stand there. Okay, make the call and let's go. And Don Kuharski now is over at the timekeeper's bench again.
So the Hawks go to their 5th power play. Kevin Lowe trying to get out of here with his first road victory of the season. Faces some anxious moments.
Now, if you're Lorne Mulliken and you're down by 3, you get a face-up in the offensive zone. Would you pull your goalie?
I knew you were.
I would. Pull the goalie and
I would
try and get the 2-man advantage.
I would. You wouldn't. You're always looking to pull that goal. Hawks on a power play, a 4-minute advantage. Erickson to Mironov. Tony Amani comes off the board, shoots Salo to save. The rebound went wide off the stick of Daze, and the puck is slapped down the ice by Mike Greer. 5:14 left in the third, 3:35, and a double minor for roughing to Doug Waite. Erickson to center. Shoots it in wide of the Oilers net. Hammerlin comes over. Off the corner boards. Here's Mironov on it quickly. Trying to roll it to the front of the net. Mironov along the boards. Now in the corner to Amani for Doug Gilmore. Back to Amani quickly in front for Daze. Erickson has come in and the puck goes out. 3:08 left in the minors to Waite. Erickson to Mironov. At the line for Daze. Standing up there was Niedema, and Tommy Salo will put the glove on it and hold it for the Oilers.
When your team's winning face-offs, as the Oilers are doing tonight, you can afford to do that. Tommy Salo had lots of time, but instead decided to take the face-off and let his centermen continue to work their magic.
Salo has faced 30 Hawk shots tonight. The Oilers with just 20, but the Oilers haven't needed all that many shots. They have 6 goals. And the Oregon trying to get the fans fired up here. A lot of them have left already. They don't pack this place like they packed the old stadium, which is now a parking lot across the street. McCabe at the line. Nylander along the boards. Back to McCabe, over to Kotek. Jason Smith broke that play up and jams the puck to center. Oilers, we talked about their special teams off the top of the show, and they've been very good again tonight, John.
They really have. Their power play in particular is very sharp, and their penalty killing perfect again.
Down dugout, 2 Hawks in the corner. And the Hawks have not surrendered any power play goals. And it looks like there's another penalty coming. High sticking the call. And it's going to the Oilers, I think.
Dave Jackson is talking to Ethan Morrow, and it is an Oiler high sticking penalty.
Well, they're certainly trying to get the Hawks back in this one, aren't they?
They really. And Kevin, you can read Kevin Lowe's lips. He said he hit his stick. Now, we'll be able to tell whether he hit his stick. The puck comes around the boards. Here it comes. Now, Ethan Morrow chops down. Does he hit the stick? I thought he hit the stick, and it's on Michael Nylander. There might be the high stick, the second one, where he catches Nylander's helmet. And a timeout called by the Blackhawks.
2:23 left in the double minor to Waite. Timeout for the Hawks, as John mentioned. And now Morrow goes for high sticking at 15:59. There's Denny Savard, who we talked about earlier. A lot of Savard sweaters in the United Center. Terrific career. And now an assistant coach for the Hawks. And who better to map out strategy on a power play than him?
And now if he could just get one of the guys to have his hands.
He scored one of the greatest goals I've ever seen against the Oilers in the old Chicago Stadium. Stick handled around the entire Oiler team before putting it in the net. So the Oilers have their work cut out for them here in the late stages of the third period. It'll be Niinema with Marchand and Hammerlick, Gilmore, Amati, Mironov, Eriksson, and Cote. How do you like that? 3 defensemen.
Cote will be standing in front of the net trying to create some open ice.
Well, quite a chance here, and the Oilers happy to have this 3-goal lead. Hawks have it. Cote in the slot, chips it back to Mironov. Now to Eriksson. Back to Mironov. Side of the net, Gilmore. Back to Mironov at the line, over to Eriksson. To Mironov. Now to Eriksson high in the slot. Side of the net, that's off the stick of Niinema. Eriksson left point. Over to Mironov. Amati standing in front. Gilmore. Side of the net. Back to Mironov. Slot shot. Blocked in front. Eriksson has it into the circle. Now to Cote along the boards. To Mironov at the line. Switches with Eriksson. 1:45 in the double minor. Cote. Back to Eriksson. The shot by Gilmore. That was Amati. Got by Salo and cleared.
And Salo made that save look easy. He just slid over, stood his ground. He didn't have to fall down to make that one.
1:05 in the 2-man advantage. Eriksson in on the left side. Comes to the line for Mironov. To Nylander in the corner. At the line to Eriksson. Over to Amati. Back to Eriksson. 2 Hawks in front. They pass it back and forth. Fans going impatient. Amati shooting off the heel of the stick wide. Nylander. Oilers being very patient. Mironov to Nylander in the circle. In behind the net, trying to center it. That is the skate of Jason Smith. Mironov has it. 34 seconds, 2-man advantage. Gilmore back to Mironov. Over to Eriksson, the shot, and that's kicked away. Amati in the corner. Wheels it back to Eriksson at the point. 22 seconds. Here's Mironov shooting. That's wide. Eriksson at the point. Oilers playing a disciplined triangle. Eriksson to Amati. Back to Eriksson high in the slot. Now to Mironov. Eriksson shooting. That's off the post. Puck goes to the corner. 5 seconds. Gilmore behind the net. Hawks out to hustle now. Gilmore to Nylander. To Eriksson shooting. Salo came across. Got a piece of it. Ryan Smith up the board to Ethan Morrow's out of the penalty box, and the Oilers do a wonderful job killing off that 2-man advantage for the Hawks.
And Tommy Salo looked very tired at the end, but he was still getting across to make the saves. The big thing for the goaltender, even when they're not getting the shots or they're missing the net, you have to concentrate and bear down. That's why Salo looks so tired.
And now Doug Waite's back on the ice for the Oilers. Facing some adversity late, overcome it. McCabe at the line, long shot, that goes just wide. Marha behind the net. There's only 1:22 left in the third. Puck goes to Todd Marchand, and he'll dump it right on Passmore. And if the fans hadn't headed for the exits, they have now.
They wanted to stay to do the power play.
You're right. Dean McCammon flies to center. Into the Oilers zone. Gets around Hammerlick. McCammon on the backhand. Goes to the corner with it. Off the stick of Salo. Here's McCabe. His shot also blocked by Salo. Daze trying to stuff it in. Hammerlick is there. McCammon golfed at it. Goes to the corner. Less than a minute to go. McCammon working hard on his left shift. Hammerlick in the corner. And he'll just roll it to the hot line. 40 seconds left in the third. McCammon off the stick of Cote. Boyd Devereaux for the Oilers, gives it to Kilger at center, back to Devereaux. Moving into the Hawks zone, Devereaux a backhander, that's stopped by Passmore. Cote for the Hawks with 25 seconds. To Atchingham at center, in across the line, he stops, takes the long shot, Salo a pass, save, rebound. LaRue couldn't get it on goal, now he shoots wide. Puck came down the board, Hansen comes over with 14 seconds. Out of the corner, Probert in the slot, Atchingham shooting, Salo down, loose in front, backhander by Probert, and Salo makes a big save with 6.5 seconds remaining in the third.
Tommy Salo sprawls across, and you can see the big grin on his face as the Oilers have scored 6 goals for the first time this year, and it's always nice when your offense support the goaltenders. And you can see Tommy Salo is now talking to Don Kowarski. Yeah, come on, blow the whistle for me. That time there was a quick whistle. If he would have done that on the Sullivan thing, Doug Waite wouldn't have got the double minor.
Kings continue to play well. They edge the Coyotes 3-2. Phoenix had won the first meeting between the two clubs 6-3. That's the score tonight in Chicago. And that's the way it's going to finish as the Oilers win their first of the season on the road.
And special teams, the real story, along with the Oilers jump in the first period. Lots of hits, lots of involvement. The Chicago power play 0 for 7 on the night. And the Oilers come up with 2 power play goals of their own.
And that man was the big story for the Oilers tonight. Alex Selivanov scoring 4 goals against former Oiler Steve Passmore. The final score of the Oilers 6, the Hawks 3. In a moment, the Molson Cup 3 stars.
You know the name, but do you know the company behind the name? For anyone who needs to get up in the air, SkyReach offers specialized boom lifts, sky tracks, and scissor lifts. We also offer mini excavators, skid steers, air compressors, light towers, and much, much more. Our championship team offers rental, purchase, or leasing options, as well as an on-site parts department, service center, and we deliver. SkyReach equipment, lifting our customers to greater heights.
It was a night hockey fans will never forget. Wayne came home, and number 99 went up. Relive the moment with never-before-seen footage. Check out the Great One's NHL stats and much more. Share his memories of this very special event in an exclusive interview.
It was only fitting that my career would end where it all began, which was Edmonton.
Call 1-877-WAYNE-99 to order this limited edition collectible CD-ROM for just $19.99. Order now while quantities last.
It's time to take an all-star break. The National Hockey League and McDonald's want you to choose your favorite players for the NHL All-Star Game. It's a battle for global domination as North America takes on the world in the 50th NHL All-Star Game in Toronto on Sunday, February 6th. Pick up your McDonald's official NHL All-Star ballot at the arena or vote online at NHL.com. You could win a 2000 Dodge Dakota Quad Cab and other great prizes. Winners will be announced during the NHL All-Star Game, so vote now.
Tonight.
What kind of shoes will you be wearing when your day comes?
The problem with being number 1 is
I studied everything you ever did.
no one
I'm going to tear your heart out.
likes being number 2.
Stole my contract.
Sylvester Stallone, Antonio Banderas, Assassin, tonight at 9 on A Channel. Anaconda, an A Channel movie premiere tomorrow at 8.
A look at our Molson Cup 3 stars for the evening. Not a big surprise that the Oilers sweep it. The number 3 star, Doug Waite, who had 4 assists this evening. Yanni Niinema, the number 2 star, with a goal and 2 assists. And guess who's the number 1 star? Alexander Selivanov with a 4-goal evening. A look at the Oilers' overall Molson Cup standings. It doesn't change because none of those 3 players were among the top 4 or 5, but I'm sure they will be after the way the Edmonton Oilers played this evening as they double up on the Chicago Blackhawks 6-3. Our Molson Canadian postgame show continues after this.
This is power. The power in new Duracell Ultra, the most powerful alkaline battery in the world. For ultra performance in whatever it powers. New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
It's time to take an all-star break. The National Hockey League and McDonald's want you to choose your favorite players for the NHL All-Star Game. It's a battle for global domination as North America takes on the world in the 50th NHL All-Star Game in Toronto on Sunday, February 6th. Pick up your McDonald's official NHL All-Star ballot at the arena or vote online at NHL.com. You could win a 2000 Dodge Dakota Quad Cab and other great prizes. Winners will be announced during the NHL All-Star Game, so vote now.
Boston Pizza presents Ratzenberger P.I.
Crime scenes are my business, and I thought I'd seen everything. Seems as though some ball players entered the premises and knocked off some hot wings and delicious pizzas. We'll need a lineup.
Good food, good times. Come to BP's Lounge. Open late when others are closed.
Ah, a clue. Obviously, someone with a real small hand.
Come and get it all at Boston Pizza.
A Channel News, judged best in the country by the Canadian Association of Broadcasters. Looking for award-winning late-breaking news? Tune into News at 6. More news, more often, only on A Channel. Tuesday at 8, Helen Hunt stars in Twister on A Channel.
Well, the Oilers had all their horses going this evening as they defeat the Chicago Blackhawks by a final score of 6-3. As we await some of the Oilers to join us to talk about this first road win of the season, let us look at our Safeway Club Score and Win contest winners. Jan Polovich of Grand Prairie has won a VTech 900 megahertz digital cordless phone. Sandy Haig of Spruce Grove has won a scraper and carver kit from Skill. Sabina Kutu of Edmonton has won a Philishave with reflex action from Philips. Joseph Armanowicz of Spruce Grove has won a mini stereo system from Daewoo. Laura Friesen of Red Deer has won quality kitchen appliances and cookware by Tefal. And Debbie Pickett of Fort McMurray has won a 20-piece set of Mikasa stoneware from Bowring. And now, as part of our Safeway Club Score and Win contest, let's find out who the lucky trip winner is for this evening.
Play Safeway Club Score and Win. You could win a vacation in the sun courtesy of World of Vacations. If your name appears, you have won a trip for two to either the Crown Paradise Resort in Puerto Vallarta or the Camino Real Las Hadas Resort in Manzanillo. You fly via Air Transat and enjoy a 7-night stay courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. It's easy to play Safeway Club Score and Win. You'll receive automatic contest entry every time you swipe your free Safeway Club card. Look for everyday great savings at Safeway. And for every Safeway Club participating product purchased, you'll receive a bonus Safeway Club Score and Win entry. The more participating products you purchase, the more entries you'll receive. Safeway will award a fabulous trip at the conclusion of each Oilers telecast. And